Look, I was wrong. I always say it. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I could have sworn Paramount was going to win. They did not. I could have sworn that Netflix was just doing this to up the price. I was wrong. Netflix gets Warner Brothers. They did it. They acquire Warner Brothers and HBO Max. It's that easy. It's that simple. It's easy. It's done. It's over, right? Wrong. Lots of stuff. Going to be messy. Going to be lawsuits. Going to be shit going down. And that's really what's going to happen here today. And man, I'll tell you, I was wrong about a lot of things. I was wrong about my math. I was doing a reaction today with Sam, and I was trying to do two things at once. And I was like, okay, let me just tell Chris and Winston we got to push it back an hour. And I told them, hey, can you guys do 12 o'clock? Which makes no sense in general because they usually do 12 o'clock. That's 9 a.m. their time, 12 o'clock my time. What I meant to write was 1 o'clock my time. And instead, they thought it was 12 o'clock their time. So I had to send an email and say, hey, I messed up my math about 4 minutes ago. So it's a good I think Chris is at least going to show up. It's a good possibility we only have Chris. I don't know. I had to send that email out, but my schedule is kind of moving today. So Chris will be here soon. I think Winston will be here. I don't know. But nonetheless, we got a lot to talk about. So between that, I mean, really going to be, as I said, this story has been moving for a bit. So the question is going to be, when does it get done? Does it get done? And what does it mean in general if it does get done? So we're putting together what we put together. It is the absolute craziest show so far. Let's get into it, everybody. Kristian Harloff Show. Here we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So, what a crazy day it was in general. Woke up to a text from Winston, General, who said, hey, check this out. And it was Netflix buys it. Netflix got it. And it was weird because last night at some point I read that, well, no, not even last night, on the show yesterday, I wrote that, hey, someone said it looks like Netflix is going to get it. And I'm going to be honest. I shoot it off. I said, okay, great. There's no world Netflix is going to get it. I'm eating crow. I'll tell you, I had no clue. I couldn't even imagine that they were going to get it. I thought they were just, I didn't think how they were very serious about it. Wrong. So what does it mean in general? There's a lot of fear in the industry that this is indeed happening because Netflix has made a big stance on not releasing things in theaters. So does that mean that we're not getting any more Warner Brothers movies? I don't believe that's the case. I really don't. I think that this is the way, and I've said this many times over when we're discussing the possibility in Netflix. What I think makes sense is if Netflix is okay, we keep getting these creators that won't do our shit because we won't release it theatrically. We're putting that out of the way now. We're giving them options. We'll give you a whole buttload of money if you made it for streaming. We give you a decent amount. Put it out in theaters. And you can make it under the Warner Brothers branch now. And they get HBO Max, right? Now, that's the confusing part for me. It's like, why do they need HBO Max if they have Netflix already? I mean, they're just, I guess, just eating the competition in the same way. Because it's different. Paramount Plus, they didn't have a lot of stuff. Paramount Plus didn't have a lot. They had some, and they even lost him, the what's his face, Taylor Sheridan. And that was the basis of their library. So them acquiring HBO Max, it made a lot of sense. They'd build out that network, and they're going to have UFC and other things too. But that would have been a massive move for them. Paramount is the biggest loser in this scenario. They are the biggest loser for sure. And I think they're going to be fighting it. And this whole thing is going to be this is going to be today's show. I mean, who are we bullshitting? This is one of the biggest stories in entertainment history. And Roka this morning tweeted out and said, or last night maybe, Tato, this is bigger than Disney buying Fox. 100% agree with him. This is huge, especially it's funny because I was doing the reaction with Sam. If you guys watch the reactions I do with my friend Sam, who's not locked into this business in the slightest as far as keeping up with the news and all that. And I told her that Netflix bought Warner Brothers, and she's like, "That's crazy." Remember when they were just the renting the DVDs? Yeah, look at them. Look at them now. Nuts. So we have quite a lot to discuss here. Let's get to the story itself. Netflix officially announces the acquisition of Warner Bros. And the DC Universe for $82.7 billion. Eat your heart out, Lucasfilm. That makes no sense at all. Okay. It just shows you that was a steal of $4 billion, not that completely different Star Wars and a studio. I'm just saying $4 billion. They still got that for a steal. Anyway, Netflix officially announces the acquisition of Warner Brothers. Here we go. Hours after reports surfaced about Netflix winning the bidding war for Warner Brothers, the streaming giant has now made it official and touts the DC Universe as one of the many franchises it will soon own. Well, it's official. Netflix has announced that it has entered into a definitive agreement with Warner Brothers Discovery to acquire Warner Brothers, including its film and TV studios, HBO Max, and HBO. The sale, which still needs to pass through regulatory processes, is valued at $82.7 billion, with the equity value of $72 billion. In a press release, it said the acquisition brings together two pioneering entertainment businesses, combining Netflix innovation, global reach, and best-in-class streaming service with Warner Brothers' century-long legacy of world-class storytelling. It also specifically highlights franchises like The Big Bang Theory, The Sopranos, Game of Thrones, The Wizard of Oz, and the DC Universe. All will join Netflix's extensive portfolio. There's the full press release, says some light on what it means for Warner Brothers, including that Netflix expects to maintain the studio's current operations and build on its strengths, including theatrical releases for films. HBO and Max titles will be added to Netflix, presumably meaning the rival streaming platform days are numbered. Well, there you go. That answers my question. I think that's a problem. The streamer also touts plans to expand production in the U.S. and grow investment in original content, and believes this acquisition will create a stronger entertainment industry by offering more opportunities to work with beloved intellectual property, tell new stories, and connect with a wider audience than ever before. Ted Sarandos, co-CEO of Netflix, said, "Our mission has always been to entertain the world by combining Warner Brothers, incredible library of shows and movies, from timeless classics like Casablanca, Citizen Kane, to modern favorites like Harry Potter and Friends, with our culture-defining titles like Stranger Things, K-pop Demon Hunters, and Squid Game. We'll be able to do that even better." Okay. Together, we can give audiences more of what they love and help define the next century of storytelling. This acquisition will improve our offering and accelerate our business for decades to come. David Zaslav, president and CEO of Warner Bros. Discovery, added, "Today's announcement combines two of the greatest storytelling companies in the world to bring to even more people the entertainment they love to watch the most. For more than a century, Warner Bros. Has thrilled audiences, captured the world's attention, shaped our culture. By coming together with Netflix, we will ensure people everywhere will continue to enjoy the most resonant stories for generations to come." So now, Netflix will own one of Hollywood's oldest movie studios, giving the company the biggest streaming platform on the planet and the opportunity to dominate the theatrical landscape through Warner Brothers Pictures. Netflix has hemorrhaged content since studios like Warner Brothers, Paramount, and Disney have launched their own streaming services, but now it has the countless new movies and TV shows to offer subscribers. What's this mean for DC Studios? That remains to be seen. Netflix might not be as willing as Zaslav when it comes to giving James Gunn and Peter Safran the freedom they currently seem to be enjoying. Perhaps the company will even restore the Snyderverse. Well, we'll see about that. Okay. Still on my lonesome so far, but I got hopefully got Winston and Chris coming in soon. But wow. Chris Carr is in. So let's bring her in real quick. Chris Carr.
Hi.
I'm sorry that I did that to you today.
That's okay. I was just farting around. So then I was like, oh, shoot.
I did, and the same. Because Winston's like, wait a minute, you told me it was 12 o'clock. My math was off.
I was out here trying to be a good future husband. I went to go get my lady's oil change because I had time now.
That's on me. I was looking at, like, for some reason it's so stupid. I said, can you guys do 12, which is normally the time, and I don't know what time that would even be for anybody, because normally 12 is the time we normally do. Yeah, for East Coast time, so it'd be 9. So it would have been 10 your time. Anyway. Winston, you sent me this thing last night, and I went, wow, because it wasn't as shocking, because it was shocking, but it wasn't as shocking because when Chris and I were on yesterday on the show. Chris, do you remember there was like that one note that came in where somebody goes, oh, I just read this thing that they're reporting that Netflix is actually in the lead, and you and I kind of shoot it off.
Yeah, because it didn't make sense. Because
didn't make sense.
Why would you buy part of a company when somebody else is offering to get rid of the whole thing at a higher price originally?
I know. So, okay. So nonetheless, it does go down. It happens. And this, I just read the first part of it, which is the acquisition itself and the statement, but there's more follow-up things. People are going to be suing other people. There's going to be, this is going to be a mess, but you hear the news off the bat here, Chris. What goes through your head? What does this mean overall?
Overall, okay, I will say I am of two houses here. I don't like the idea of any of these companies ultimately getting these because of the idea of a monopoly or anything like that. But it does feel a little, to borrow from South Park, all of the options felt a little bit like choosing between various turd sandwiches. And this is the turd sandwich that I like the most, I think. I do have problems with Ted Sarandos closing that theatrical window even further. That is something he's talked about, the evolution of happening, because I do think we need movies to be in theaters. But I do like what he's previously said about committing to still having movies come out and have their theatrical time. I do like the kind of integrity in which WB seems to have gone about this sale. That's also maybe there's more to it, but their PR statement at least seems to be they wanted to go not only with something that made sense financially, but something that they felt aligned with them and their own values and everything as well. The Ellison stuff did make me very nervous, just because I don't think anyone, regardless of political affiliation, should allow that to tie into the kind of media they create, regardless of which side of the aisle is in there, because, I've said it before, we're all on the same flight. I'm not rooting against my captain. I don't want the plane to go down. But I do want us all to have fair access to equitable information and non-biased information, and not having propaganda-y type of things in our media, which it still will regardless, because that's the nature of filmmaking and such. But overall, I'm cautiously optimistic. I know a lot of people have been, on my social feed at least, very, very, oh, it's over. Oh, theatrical movies are done. Hope you guys liked the movie theaters. And I'm hoping that we can take a deep breath. And I'm hoping that Ted Sarandos will not try to make every single thing a straight to streaming Netflix, because also that won't make him money.
So to answer that, Winston, I think it makes no sense in the world to buy, if you're just buying a library to stick it on your streaming platform, that doesn't make sense to me. In the same way, like, look, I had asked the question initially, well, what are they going to do with Max? And the answer is they're just going to take all their stuff and put it on the streaming. I don't love that, but I get it. And I don't like it. I like the fact that HBO Max and HBO, which we grew up with for years and knew it is going to cease to exist. That's sad to me. But I get it when it comes to a business side. Like, no, we're going to put The Sopranos on Netflix, so everybody comes in. If you want to watch The Sopranos, then you got to watch it on Netflix. We're going to put House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones. That's all on Netflix. I get it. The studio side of it, though, like I said many times over, in my head, what I would think would make sense is to say, okay, we're going to run a studio. And for people and for our creators that are coming in that are saying, hey, we don't want to do this movie because it's not theatrical. Well, you'll run it on the Warner Brothers side, but you're not going to get the same budget that you would have on the streaming side. And if you're cool with that, then you can make it for a theatrical release. That's what I think they're going to do, and would make sense that way. What do you think?
Yeah.
That's me.
That's a weird swaggy blurred.
Yeah.
I was just like, man, I did cosplaying Kristian Harloff. I think that would probably be the smart move, is to specifically do that. HBO Max has certainly improved their interface, but if we're just being honest, Netflix, because it's been around the longest, tends to be the cleanest out of all of them. If you're also talking about a way to potentially have us not have to pay for another streamer, that's also not necessarily a bad thing. But I think that is the most integral part. Is it feels like to me you just bought distro as well as IP. I don't think it makes logical sense to say we're done doing theatrical stuff, because
right. Well, they said they're going to do it for a little bit, but the question is, will it eventually stop?
That would be incredibly stupid. And like Chris said, I remember the episode you're talking about. It was between a douche and a turd sandwich. You had to vote on your options. I definitely remember that episode. It was hilarious. That is essentially what we're looking at here when it came to all these. Every single buyer, there was a problem with this happening in the first place. And the main one being that the more you consolidate, the worse that is as far as jobs, as far as options, et cetera, et cetera. But of all the ones, this was the one that seemed, based off of what they said with their pitch of, we're going to keep it. We just want access to the library, more or less, in the distro. If that's what they're actually doing, then that isn't necessarily a bad thing. But you're exactly spot on, Kristian. They need to set that up in a way that you are not gutting essentially what helps keep the industry going. But if you lose the theaters, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble. But you could set such a new precedent if you're them, if you're Sarandos, if you're that, because you can then. What's what we talk about all the time on this damn channel is the fact of how the budgets are too damn high. Is what we all the time we talk about, how they're too damn high for theatrical released movies. And now you can have Warner Brothers saying, hey, look, we've got 2 places you can make movies, and we don't expect you to make all of your budget back if you put it on the streaming service. You can have an IMAX release. You can have that. We just want people to care enough that it does well on the streaming service, that it brings people in, and we'll put some hype around it in the publicity machine. If you do it theatrically, though, and you want to go old school, we're with you, but you ain't getting $250 million to make this movie. You're going to get about 140.
Which makes me wonder, though, because I still don't think I understand how a place like Netflix actually makes their money, just in the sense that, like, yes, I get it. You're paying for whatever the subscription is. And yes, the subscription price has been going up constantly over and over and over and over again. But knowing that a lot of the tech stuff has continued, like Uber and Lyft, for example, is another example of a tech company that invaded a space and worked at a loss for forever. So the only thing that doesn't necessarily make sense to me, you stand to potentially make more money actually doing the theatrical releases and going out and selling this stuff than we're just going to throw it on our streamer. So that's the only part.
But I don't know. Someone makes the point here. They have 300 million subscribers at like $20 a pop or $25 a pop. That adds up, and it's like that way you're putting together like more and more money every time someone signs up to it, and more people. Guess what? Somebody's turning 18 tomorrow, and they got their own credit card. They're doing their own thing, and they just sign up for Netflix too. They're out on their own, and they're like, oh, you know what? I got to set up my streaming on my own. I got to do this, and they get Netflix. There's new generations of people getting Netflix, buying Netflix, and now with a library like this and shows and things that you have, you're going to get more subscribers. The answer of how they make their money is continuous subscribers over and over and over again. Like look at, I'll use the Schmodown as an example. Before we went to Skybound, the way that we were able to make the show was our Patreon subscribers. That was how we were able to do it. We made X amount of dollars monthly that paid for the competitors, it paid for the editors, it paid for everybody. And granted, we ain't making $200 million movies,
right?
But I didn't have 200 million subscribers.
So what you saying? But I guess that was my question, though, and I guess that's the whole thing. Even using the Uber and Lyft example, the main disruptor element that these companies have done, and Netflix and Uber both said this out loud when they were doing it, was the idea of we're coming to disrupt the industry. So if all of a sudden taking an Uber to get to the airport costs $15 and taxi still costs $50, over time you get people to go do that. And then once they really had the foothold in the industry, they jack the prices up. Netflix has essentially done the same thing. Netflix used to be what, $7 a month, $9 a month, and like you said, now it's 20. Now they've jacked it up. So I guess that was my only thing that I was trying to figure out. I still think there's too much in the theaters as is, and I'm curious if the one legal battle, if they really try and tank the theatrical experience, that could actually have a pretty devastating effect on the economy, because that is a tent pole, one of the legs of the table of like entertainment. You really can't lose that.
Chris, you were going to say?
Oh, I was just saying that one of the things that Netflix has done really well, though, is continuing to try to find ways to retain their user base as well, by adding in, as much as they don't work, those live events or taking it so that they're changing their release patterns or things. They are experimenting with their own model, and I'm excited to just see this new push for theatrical, for them to now see how much that benefits them. I mean, Daniel Craig came out and was talking about how terrible this model was for all the Knives Out things and everything. So my hope is that we still have the whole experience of movies. And I think a really big hurdle that Netflix actually has is courting theater owners. So this next CinemaCon, I'm actually really interested to see how everything shakes out, so that they can make them feel good about, giving them screens for their movies and everything. Because that's the big thing about CinemaCon that I don't think a lot of average moviegoers know, is that it's essentially a bid. It's a bid for, please give me as many screens as possible. Please let my film be featured in your theater. And when Netflix says things constantly about, no, we're so much about streaming, ooh, we want to close that window and make that shorter, they do have an upward battle for making theater owners like them. So they are going to have to do a little dance here, figuring out what works for them, and also to get eyes on their screens so they can actually make that profit and continue to grow.
100%. But the thing is, before last night or this morning, was what Netflix was as a whole, and has made it clear that we, as what our brand is and the way we do things, do it like this. But we didn't have this. Now we have this.
That's the thing.
And that's the thing. It's like, now that we have this, don't worry about what I said before, because I didn't have this. Now I have it.
Changed.
Right.
Hey, I look, I love to do my little sports analogies. When I was playing basketball back in the day, bro, I wasn't getting no rebounds. I wasn't doing nothing because I was short. And then I hit my growth spurt and I was like, yo, coach, I got it. And then all of a sudden I'm going and getting rebounds. I think it's the same thing. You didn't have the distro. You had to find your own way to get into the party. And now that you're in the party and you have the resources, now you can start to be like, all right, cool, I want to do it the way that other people.
You also made a conscious effort to get the rebounds. The question is Netflix going to try to get the rebounds? And so that is going to be the major question, is that, yes, they've already said in this statement, we tend to honor those obligations. We're going to honor those obligations for now. And if it is a for now thing, that will be an industry devastating blow. It really will be. But it is a way for Netflix to say, as you're saying, Chris, we've changed, baby. I swear, forgive us. You know what I mean?
Different.
Right.
I've been to therapy, baby. I'm going to communicate more. That's how this feels. It's every ex-boyfriend of mine going, no, but I can change now.
Are you laughing because I went Ike Turner?
No, I'm laughing because I'm thinking about our recording yesterday. It's like, I got talent now. That's
it's true. It's true. So I'm telling you, this is major. This is major. I mean, it really is. And I said it in the intro that Roka had tweeted this last night, and I agree with him. This is so much more significant and bigger than when Disney bought Fox. Way bigger. Because of everything that we were just talking about, and how that, the potential changes of what it could do. It's almost like AI, right? And what I mean by that is, AI is, everybody agrees, has the possibility to either maybe find ways to cure cancers, maybe find ways to do things and experiment in ways that we never could even fathom, or it could kill us all, right? And the question is, who's using it? What do they intend to do with it? Netflix could say, you know what? We have this now, and we're going to make the industry better, bigger. Here's what we do. Or they can go, no, it's all ours now. F you theaters, you don't like it. That's the way we do things now. And they could destroy the industry.
I mean, I think the only thing funnier about it, to be honest with you, is the fact that the full court press that Ellison and Skydance and all that went of, we're gonna get Warner, ain't nothing stopping us, you ain't do. And now that it didn't work out, also to be like, what is the fear? They're not being fair.
We're gonna talk about that. We'll talk about that in just a second, because we might as well transition to it in a second. But
yeah,
before we do, what do you guys think about the news in general? The fact that this has happened, that this is gonna happen. Put your thoughts in there. Let us know what you're thinking, whether it's on the Clips channel, here in the live chat, afterwards. Please put your thoughts in there and let us know. We have so much more to talk about with this story. We're going to talk about the letter that was sent in by Paramount in general about why they thought it was unfair, what it means overall for them, why I believe that with this loss, they are in big trouble. So we'll get into that. Then we'll also get into the inevitable conversation about what the hell does this now mean about the DCU? What does it mean with James Gunn? People were talking about how he wouldn't be safe if it went to Paramount. Is he safer now, or is he still, who knows?
I wish I knew.
That's what we're going to try to find out. So before we even do that, it's Christmas time, or then he was coming up to being Christmas, and I'm giving you guys ideas for gifts. I'll give you two great ones right now. We'll be back in a second.
All right, I'm so excited to find new gifts for people in the holiday season. And I know people are looking for gifts. They're running around right now. I get it. You're like, what am I going to get for somebody that I know that they're going to like? It's stressful. Trust me. I got it. Aura Frames. It is the one that you're going to get for somebody, and you're going to feel like, oh, they really thought about me when they got this. I have a problem when it comes to searching for, like, my mom. What is she gonna like? I don't know. And I'm like, you know what? Getting her a frame. She's gonna love it. She's got so many great pictures from the past and things she could use. It's amazing. So here's the beauty about it. You can upload unlimited photos and videos to this thing. You just have to download the Aura app, and it connects right to the Wi-Fi. You can preload the photos before they ship out. You can personalize your gift. You want to put a message in there. It's amazing. You can share photos and videos, no problem whatsoever. You can go right from your phone, and it's all year round. And there's a gift box included. That's pretty cool, too. Every frame that comes packaged in a premium gift box with no price tag. So for a limited time, you can save on the perfect gift. You got to visit auraframes.com. You're going to get $35 off of Aura's best-selling Carver matte frame. It's named #1 by Wirecutter. You got to use the code, though, Kristian at checkout. That is auraframes.com. Promo code Kristian. Now, this deal is exclusive to listeners, and frames do sell out real fast. So if you order yours now to get in time for the holidays, you're going to appreciate it. Support the show by mentioning us at the checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Let me tell you a true story. So we are having a holiday party at my place, and we're putting together a really big feast. And thank goodness that we have Butcherbox. Butcherbox, it is just the absolute best. You can spend less time shopping and more time celebrating. So what's Butcherbox? Well, here's what they do. They deliver over 100 premium protein choices straight to your door, including 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, pork-raised, crate-free, and wild-caught seafood. Now, for nearly a decade, Butcherbox has led the industry with meat and seafood that's antibiotic-free, hormone-free, and independently verified. It's a cleaner, more trustworthy version of what you'd find at the grocery store, delivered right to your door. And man, we got so much chicken. I got a really nice steak. The beef that we made, my wife made these meatballs, and we couldn't believe this. They were so juicy, tender. It was amazing, absolutely incredible. So, what's great about them too is that every box ships free always, and includes members-only perks like recipe, inspiration, tips, and exclusive deals to help you make the most of every meal. I know it does for our household. So as an exclusive offer, our listeners can get free steak in every box for a year. That alone is worth it. Trust me. And if that's not enough, you get $20 off your first box when you go to butcherbox.com/Kristian. That's right. Your choice of filet mignon, New York strip, ribeye in every box for entire year, plus $20 off your first box and free shipping always. Butcherbox.com/Christian. Do not forget to use our link so they know that we sent you.
Hell yeah. Butcherbox and Aura Frames. Like I said, I'm giving you guys some deals. Maybe not the deal that Netflix got, but still a good deal in general. All right.
Our frames are incredible. I got one from my mother-in-law, and like MVP moment. She's so happy.
Told you. That's what you got to do. You got to get those Aura Frames and Butcherbox. I mean, I eat them every damn day. All right, we're gonna. Yeah, it's so good. We're gonna get into continue on with this story. Just a moment here, Winston. You and Chris won last week.
Yeah, we did. I'm hoping we can do it again, but I did. You always accuse me of not watching the show. It just depends on what my day looks like. I know she won.
Okay.
And I was literally sitting here like, you couldn't have saved this for tomorrow.
I know. So right now
we're gonna do even better today, buddy. Because winning is better with your friend.
You got almost 1,000 people watching right now, so you got a good shot. So basically, for people brand new coming in, we do whatever host is on. Whoever winds up right now, you currently have 23 questions. Yesterday, Chris had 156. If you beat 156, then Winston and Chris will get a bonus. If not, Chris will get a bonus this week. Say
that feels
bye-bye.
Mean. It just feels mean.
Is it so mean? Then I'll tell you what. Split your bonus with Winston if you win.
Oh, right. We can go to Kantiki. I can buy you drinks. That can be what we do.
Perfect.
That's very sweet.
All right.
It's Christmas themed right now. I love it.
100%. See, she's so damn nice. I thought she was gonna hit. I thought she was gonna hit a joke and be like, no, I'm good. Instead, she says, I'll take you out to drinks. She's like the nicest person on this show.
If anything, Chris, I realized the other day by accident, the last audition, I have your little corn pen, so I got to get that back to you anyway.
Oh.
I needed to write something. I was filling out the lotto ticket. Go get your lotto ticket so then you can go and rebuy Warner Brothers away from Netflix, because it's not enough money, but it's still $850 million. That's enough for us. So get your lotto ticket, y'all.
All right, look, Winston mentioned this and put some flair into it when he talked about how Paramount was kind of whining about it, and rightfully so. I think maybe not why they were whining, but I understand why they're whining, because they were so confident. And look, I started off the show by saying I was wrong. I was convinced that they were going to get it. I was convinced. I thought there was no world where this guy was going to be told no, and he'll find a way to do it. Plus, the other thing we haven't mentioned at all is the backing by the Saudis. I don't think Netflix has the backing by the Saudis, but they did, and everything that was lining up with this, it seemed like, well, this is inevitable. This is going to happen. Well, I think they were as shocked as we were, because they were like, wait a minute, what happened? We got screwed. And now what does that mean for Paramount? They have the UFC. It's a big deal, right? They just lost Taylor Sheridan, so that's not a good thing for them television wise. They don't have the strongest slate. They don't have a lot of franchises.
Sonic.
Right.
They got Sonic, and they have Ninja Turtles, which they're trying to revamp. Right. I think I know why specifically they are literally going.
Let's read the letter. Let's read the letter first, and then we'll kind of get into it. So, here is Paramount, CNBC. The questions Warner Brothers Discovery on the fairness and adequacy of the sale process, and then you can read the full letter. So, Paramount Skydance is questioning the fairness of Warner Brothers Discovery sale process and whether it's acting in the best interest of shareholders, according to a letter reviewed by CNBC. Paramount made 3 offers to acquire the entirety of Warner Brothers Discovery before the company launched a formal sale process, CNBC previously reported. Earlier this week, Warner Brothers Discovery received second-round bids from Paramount, Netflix, and Comcast, which is what was reported by CNBC. Paramount Skydance is calling foul on how Warner Brothers has conducted its sale process. In a letter received by CNBC, Paramount attorneys told Warner Brothers Discovery that David Zaslav that Paramount was questioning the fairness and adequacy of the process, which officially launched in October. This week, Paramount, Netflix, Comcast submitted second-round bids to acquire some or all of Warner Brothers Discovery assets, CNBC previously reported. So where's the hell the rest of it? That's it? There's a letter.
No. There's a lot reported. It has become increasingly clear.
Wait, no. I got to see it. Where is it? Where?
It's
I see it. Okay. It has become increasingly clear through media reporting and otherwise that Warner Brothers appears to have abandoned the semblance and reality of a fair transaction process, thereby abdicating its duties to stockholders and embarked on a myopic process with a predetermined outcome that favors a single bidder, reads the letter from attorneys at Quinn Emanuel. We specifically request and expect this letter will be shared and discussed with the full board of directors of Warner Brothers. In particular, Paramount's letter calls out reports that Warner Brothers management appears to favor Netflix's offer. Netflix has made an offer mostly of cash, while Paramount's latest bid was all cash, according to people close to the matter who declined to be named speaking about confidential dealings. All three companies submitted higher bids than their initial offers, the people told CNBC. As of Thursday morning, Netflix was the leading bidder based on how Warner Bros. Is valuing the offers, people familiar told CNBC. Comcast executives, for their part, continue to be disciplined in the company's offer as to not anger shareholders by taking on additional debt and risking its balance sheet, according to people familiar with that company's thinking. Comcast leadership has previously said that its bar for the M&A is generally high. Warner Bros. Discovery told CNBC it confirmed to Paramount that it had received the letter and would share it with members of the Warner Brothers board. Please be assured that the board attends to its fiduciary obligations with the utmost care and that they have fully and robustly complied with them, and I will continue to do so, the company said in response to Paramount. Warner Brothers requested third-round bids from the potential buyers due Thursday. Sources told them the company expects to announce a winner as early as next week. While first-round bids arrived in mid-November, Paramount has been vying to acquire the entirety of Warner Bros. Discovery, which includes its streaming services, HBO Max, Film Studio Warner Bros., and a portfolio of networks, yada, 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 yada. Warner Bros. Discovery rebuffed three offers made by Paramount, the last of those for $23.50 a share before launching a formal sale process to beckon other buyers. Netflix and Comcast are interested only in the streaming and film studio. That's the baffling thing to me. Because as we see, they were kind of bitching about it right before it was even announced about Netflix taking it on. But Chris, I think you mentioned it earlier, right? The baffling thing to me is why you are selling off your company into pieces when somebody wanted to buy the whole kit and caboodle. Because it seems like it wasn't like for substantially more money. It seemed like it was, okay, they want to buy this, they want to buy that. We still have a couple other things we didn't sell to them. But is it just because they didn't want to sell to Skydance and they didn't like, maybe is because Saudi's money also in there? Maybe because, look, there was that conversation from the comedy festival and all of this stuff and the money of that comedy festival of people like, how can you take money from them when this and that? Is that something that they didn't want to be a part of? And it was easier to go to an American-based, company to say it's Netflix. It makes us feel a little better. Like, how do you feel about that?
I think that's what it is. And that is me making a lot of wild assumptions. I am not in the room. I have not gotten to read every bit of press that has come out since this has been breaking all day and all evening. But it does feel like, hey, look at us. We did as I shake my entire camera. Wow. Mm-hmm. It feels like, look at us. We did the integrity move. Yes, we want you we want to sell our company, but we want to sell it to somebody who we also agree with, we believe in, and we aren't compromising anything. And it's also a very easy way to sidestep any of those conversations. I think, too, David Zaslav probably wants to go out on a bit of a high here and doesn't want to have to deal with a whole bunch of, you sold to the wrong person for these political reasons, government affiliation reasons, et cetera, et cetera. I think this is just a little bit easier ultimately for that PR side. It is more difficult for the continuing sale of everything. Although, I mean, Discovery, someone else will scoop that up and everything. There's still talk about that going on and people are still bidding for that.
Right.
It just, we kept talking about it. It makes more sense. Why would I, if I'm having a garage sale, not go to somebody who's like, yeah, I'll take all your stuff right now versus me having to wheel and deal with every individual. So my assumption is that it is the kind of integrity of the sale.
I think it's both the integrity of the sale, but if I also remember correctly, I believe Netflix also came in at $30 a share versus $23.50. So you're also just talking about,
you are correct. Yes.
You're also just talking about, like, let's keep it a buck. Paramount didn't actually come with the goods the way that Netflix did. Like, they did in certain ways. That is very true,
Winston.
But you were that's the difference between someone that comes in and say, I'll take all your shit, I'll give you $500 for everything, versus someone going, no, I'll give you $750 just for this over here. So unless you're in a state of like, no, we have to go in the next 24 hours, fine, I'll take the $500 deal. I think this was the idea of like, well, we can actually get a lot of money just for this piece, and then we can deal with selling this one and get even more money. So it's annoying that you then have to renegotiate. But if you are actually trying to maximize your profits here,
you are right.
That's actually not a bad idea.
And especially because like the theme parks and other stuff too, like I don't think Netflix got anything to do with that, right?
I don't think so, but it would honestly, in my opinion, unless we're missing something where they're at a loss, I would take that. Disney makes most of its money from.
But that's what I'm saying.
Disney,
But maybe Netflix doesn't want to be in that business. You know,
I guess, but it's so like that's one of the few businesses that once it's established, it kind of just takes care of itself. You know.
What were you going to say, Chris?
I feel like the synergy of that would be great for them, honestly. You already have Epic Universe having Dark Universe, which is classic Universal monsters and stuff, but that is an easy ad for Stranger Things. You know,
well, Stranger Things already has a presence on
Horror Nights.
Yeah.
But then you make it a
staple.
You know, you take a lot of that freaky IP and you put it into the theme park, and that stuff sells like bananas. I mean, as a former Disney employee, they make so much money. Just it's kind of the idea of like concessions in a movie theater, right? We get you into this place, you will spend so much of your money on the dumbest stuff. So we just have to give you this tiny little taste of something to get you in here to spend more. And honestly, that's how they could really, really profit.
But they already said though, but isn't it kind of like a moot point at this point, because like it's not part of the deal. So I mean for now. But it's like they didn't buy that. So it's like they bought HBO Max and they bought the streaming stuff.
So that I guess
if they're having the rights to those shows, then they would be able to use that IP.
Yes, but the question, I think that they actually, but there's things that I don't know. It's complicated, right? That I guess is the whole point of this. It would have been less complicated for us to talk about if Paramount would have bought it. Because you're like, oh, they own everything. It's now they now have Warner Bros. But now, because it's broken off into different things, you're like, well, how does that actually work? And well, they own the shows. So can they do this? Are they able to do that? I don't know.
I mean, the other thing that I was thinking about, to be honest with you, as far as like any sort of monopoly or antitrust stuff, though, again, Netflix doesn't like, yes, they do movies, but they don't have like a film studio traditionally the way that like Skydance now has by owning Paramount. So there's also that idea of part of why Disney was able to get away with the Fox sale, because that was brought up then too, is they only took certain assets. They didn't take a lot of the TV stuff and everything else, you know what I mean? Or whatever part they kind of splintered off. And they said, we just are taking this element. By Netflix also doing this, they're not then overlapping as much as Paramount would have.
Right.
And that would have, even though they're saying, well, we have, you know, the government on our side to do this anyway, you are also avoiding that. And I also see that being cleaner for Warner Brothers, who really wants to get rid of this, to go, now we don't have to worry as much if this went full force this other way.
I also wonder what happens to the Warner Brothers lot. You know, it's like, are they keeping it? They keeping that product? Because that's you know, there's a lot of questions that come with that. Because go ahead.
I was going to say, I have a buddy who works at Netflix who's constantly been talking about them expanding and getting more offices and doing things. So my assumption would be
they have it, right?
We keep it. We put an end on it.
Yes, but here's, as someone who used to work on the Warner Brothers lot, right? So the question is then, the history that comes with that lot in general is one of the questions. The other side, which is the inevitable question and the unfortunate part of this, as we all know, people will be losing their jobs. Yeah. Now, the question is who? Because you're also looking at, I mean, I'm thinking about my friends that are over at the Warner Brothers side that are publicists, right?
Yep.
Now, do those people, because they're getting more properties, do they have more responsibilities now? Because Netflix has 1,000 publicists when it comes to the different projects that they have.
Right.
Are those people just getting assigned more things, and the people who are already at Warner Brothers losing? And this is just the publicist side of it. I'm not talking about all the other things, because there are production companies that exist on the lot. Now, will those production companies, will their deals, I know that they're going to honor, that's what they said in the statement, those deals will be honored again for how long, which is going to be our last big conversation, is the same deal that James Gunn and Peter Safran have, right? They have a deal that will be honored at least until their contracts are done, and who knows what happens next. So there's so many questions, but the first thing is going to have to be there's going to have to be all the investigations on if this was done the right way and if it's going to pass, and then they got to get the approval of it too. Now, here's the other question that, not to get super political on it, but it should be discussed. It was assumed that if Paramount and Ellison got it, it would pretty much be signed off on pretty quick because of Ellison's ties to the government, and the Saudis are pretty tight with the administration as well too. So it's going to seem like it was like okay, yeah, you guys are good, you bought it, okay, it looks great, see you later. Because Paramount's making a stink about it, is there going to be a holdup? And they're going to go, don't make it that easy on them. It's possible.
It is certainly possible. Just because you don't necessarily have an inroad, if again, without getting deep into the political conversation of it, all it kind of takes is a little bit of kissing the ring, and then stuff tends to just go whatever.
Doesn't seem like that's going to happen this time around.
I mean, I guess it just depends one way or the other. But like, yes, one person is the way this is essentially played out has just been the idea of like, oh yeah, we're like buddies, bro. This like we go back. If somebody just comes up and is like, hey, good to meet you. You seem like a nice dude. He's pretty cool. Well, wait a minute, I thought we were friends. Like it feels like if push comes to shove here, it will be okay. I like maybe in that regard, but
maybe, but you have to
wait and find out.
You have to find out. I think there's this story is far from over.
Yep,
I can tell you that this is far from. It's not one of these things like, that's it, it's over. Netflix got it. I think this is going to be. There's going to be a lot of court battles with this one, to say the least. So I'm very curious of what everybody else is thinking about this. So please put your thoughts in there. Let us know, whether again it's on the Clips channel, whether it is in the live chat, on the replay, whatever it might be. Now, I know normally we do it's usually just full on comic book movie news on Fridays. So we didn't get to a lot of that because of the obvious on what was going down and how this is going to affect the industry in general. But I think that before we get into the question side of this thing, the biggest question for this show is what is going to happen with the DCU? What happens with James Gunn? Now, the conversation yesterday and things that I have been reporting on is that if Paramount and Skydance got it, that they weren't really even considering James Gunn anymore, and that he would have such a diminished role, and that eventually maybe they just wait till his contract's out, and then he's Gonski, right? That was the potential if Skydance and Paramount got it. Well, so what happens now? If Netflix does get approved, and it is Netflix, what happens to James Gunn and Peter Safran? Well, here's a story that this is from comicbook.com, who's just asking the same question we're asking right here, which just says, Netflix will be the new owner of DC, and what does that mean for James Gunn and the DCU? So, for the past several months, industry entertainment has watched a chaotic dismantling of Warner Brothers as the conglomerate looked to offload the majority of its assets. And the fire sale ignited a bidding war that drew in nearly every major player in Hollywood and Silicon Valley. Paramount, Skydance, Comcast, Apple, all aggressively vying for the prize. Was Apple aggressively vying for it? I don't even think I've said their name once today.
Super aggressive. They were in the first round of bids, and then they didn't care.
Right.
However, someone just throws their paddle up and goes, I guess.
Yeah, we're good. We're just here for the shrimp and chips.
I'm just here for the fun.
Yeah. We just wanted to show up. We
just wanted to hang out with my friends.
Yeah, we just want to show you. Well, I don't think it's a friends thing for them, because if they wanted to, they could buy it twice.
They could buy all of the studios collectively.
They could buy it twice. They just said, no, we're just putting a bid in because we can. However, the dust has finally settled and a clear victor has emerged. Netflix has officially entered into exclusive negotiations with Warner Brothers, signaling the end of the auction. Unless a regulatory disaster or a wildly unexpected pivot occurs, Netflix will own DC Studios within the next few months, a move that could completely alter the trajectory of the shared universe currently being built by James Gunn and Peter Safran. Netflix secured the winning position with an aggressive offer of $30 per share, as Winston was mentioning earlier, a bid that reportedly includes an 85% cash component. The deal is structured with a massive $5 billion breakup fee and a clear signal that both parties are committed to seeing this through despite the inevitable antitrust hurdles. The next steps involve a rigorous review by the Department of Justice. That's where you're going to have a problem. And a final shareholder vote, a process that that experts estimate will take between 12 to 18 months to finalize. Paramount has already voiced legal objections regarding the fairness of the bidding process. The exclusive nature of these current talks suggests that Warner Brothers board is fully committed to the Netflix acquisition. Okay, so what is the downside? I like this article. What is the downside of Netflix owning DC? And the anxiety surrounding this acquisition is Netflix's historical aversion to theatrical releases. For years, the streaming giant has probably yada. We talked about this. This strategy will clash with the current success of Superman, and removing future DC blockbusters from the circuit will be a devastating blow to exhibitors and fans alike. The idea of a Justice League movie to a living room television is a difficult pill for many to swallow. However, there's evidence that Netflix is already evolving its strategy. Yeah, this is the stuff we discussed already. The Warner acquisition gives Netflix something it's never had, massive pre-existing global distribution. By acquiring Warner Brothers, we didn't even talk about this. They get Barbie, Harry Potter. It's buying the machinery to release them properly. Netflix may use this merger to create a hybrid model, keeping massive spectacles like DC films in theaters, I was talking about before. So Netflix is expected to close the deal. So that's, they don't have the negative, they don't have the positive side. Okay, well, they just have the negatives. It's fine, the negatives. Okay, so I will tell you that the negatives for what they listed is what we talked about already, and I just, and we all three of us say this, I just don't see a world where they're going to just say, okay, we got all these big movies, we got Batman now, put it on streaming. I don't see it. I don't see, because the other thing that we haven't really brought attention to is these movies that Netflix makes. The creators are told in general that these movies are going to be made for the platform, right? Batman would never be something that they would go, that's made for the platform. It's always been made for the theater. It's not like look, you do the Gray Man. It was made for streaming. It's what it was made for. Batman was made for the theaters. These things, it always has. And so that doesn't concern me. The biggest question is, what is James Gunn's relationship with Netflix? What's his relationship with Sarandos? What do they think about him over there? Do they like what he's doing? We know that he doesn't politically line up with Ellison's stuff, which does play in a bit. But we've also heard that the Saudis don't like the creative approach to what he was doing, and so he was kind of forcing an uphill battle going over there. Is it the same for Netflix? Because Netflix has a very good relationship with Zack Snyder. So what does that mean? Chris, what does it mean for James Gunn? I think we all agree he's probably in a better position going, okay, I like my chances better here than I did over there. But is he in the clear?
I don't know if he's totally in the clear, but I will say this about the Zack Snyder relationship is, even Netflix has done, hey, I know we wanted to continue Rebel Moon, buddy, we're not gonna,
Right, right.
The fact that you froze perfectly at that moment was hilarious. That was really good.
that was a paid actor.
Your internet is a paid actor? Damn.
Yeah. I just, you hold that thing for a minute. So I don't think that we should be cheering on, hey, the Snyderverse is back, baby. And no, there's always a possibility that they go, hey, it'd be fun. What if Zack Snyder does do a new DC film? What if that is something that Zack Snyder would like to do? And why don't we see how that plays in here as an Elseworlds or a television show or another movie that is in this new cinematic universe? Because he and James Gunn, Zack Snyder and James Gunn, seem to have a great relationship. They've gone on other shows making fun of each other and poking
Rick
fun
and
with
Morty,
one another.
man. They had the whole episode of the two of them straight up like James Gunn. They both voiced themselves. And James Gunn asking Snyder for advice on what to do and making fun of each other's universes. Like I think the thing that'll be interesting for sure. I think that Gunn will be safe, but I also think it'll be a scenario of let's see what this year does. I think that's more of what Netflix will do. They go, okay,
give him a little bit more of a chance to prove himself.
they're like, okay, you got Supergirl, you got Man of Tomorrow, which is coming out in 27, but it's filming next year. You've got Clayface and what else do they have? Lanterns.
Well,
So let's see.
Shooting or coming out.
Coming out next year.
Coming out is Supergirl,
Clayface,
Lanterns, and Clayface. Yeah, and then you go into production on the new Superman sequel.
On Man of Tomorrow. So yeah. I think that will be the question. They'll probably say, okay, come in, what is it that you exactly have going on at this particular moment? We know we have these 3 out, so let's see what these 4 properties that you're about to drop in the next 18 months look like. And once we get probably about 3/4 or halfway there, we'll make a decision. I think everything, like this article said, will be fine for 26. It'll just depend once we get near the end of 26 if they continue on one way or the other.
That's the main thing, is because their contract ends in November. Yes. So it's like, so when their contract is over, it's like, this is what I thought in general would make sense for wherever he went, but it didn't seem like, from, if you believed all the reports that were coming out, that Paramount and Skydance wanted to do it. And they're just pretty much, okay, this is what we have, this idea instead. And Chris, this goes back to that conversation now where they go with Krager's. They were having that conversation with Krager's about, hey, you want to do a movie with us? And it's like, just kidding, we don't own it. So it's like,
well, that's so Hollywood anyway. Isn't it fun when
general,
it's like, we're gonna do this? Well,
you're right.
See you next time.
The old chicken before they hatch type thing. And so, but so he was maybe in trouble over there, because it was like, okay, we're just gonna let him finish out his contract and then he's toast. I think what Winston was saying is probably more true with him. It's like, okay, look, you've got an opportunity here now with Netflix to say, all right, we're gonna. The beauty of Netflix though with them is that, as Winston was talking about beforehand with the streaming, the difference of success is, so let's say Superman comes out, it does whatever, this whole conversation we had yesterday, you either think it made $150 million, it did, it didn't, whatever it might be, no one can dispute it did very well when it was released on digital. It did very well. It did very well. And if Netflix just says, going right to Netflix, numbers are going up, everything else comes out, and so there's 2 levels of success now for it on a DC film, because when it debuts on streaming for a streaming movie, it's, you got to garner the success on that. But when it comes to those big DC huge movies, that's where the world lives. And I think you say to Gunn, all right, we're gonna put maybe Clayface gets a bigger push through streaming also once it comes out, because that movie's not going to be in theaters very long. And then you get the big push 30, 40 days later on Netflix. And you can say, all right, and then we have to revisit in November. You still got to revisit the contract in November. The awkward thing, though, Chris, is that if he winds up not signing that contract for November, if Netflix is like, no, we're good, Lanterns didn't do as good as we hoped on streaming, and Clayface ate it, and Supergirl ate it, we're good. And then he's like, yeah, but I still got my Shot Man Tomorrow comes out next year. It's like, well, you'll be a producer on it. That's pretty much what's going to happen, right?
I mean, potentially, yeah. If everything goes that way.
Because I guess the other thing, even though it's not DCU, as far as like making these decisions, I mean, it's gonna. Yes, they announced this at the end of this year. It's gonna take a while for all of this to process.
Right.
Like if we're calling it a buck.
Well, I got something else. Yeah, and I got something else to go with that. Go ahead, Winston. Finish.
Oh, I was just gonna say. I mean, anywhere from a year to 2 years to fully solidify that, and then on top of that, I know we didn't talk about it specifically, but like you still got the Batman 2, even though it's not obviously DCU, it's still
DC,
product that is on the move and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's just it's gonna take time. So I don't even think necessarily we're gonna hear any news if Gunn and Safran are in or out until maybe mid to end of 27 at the earliest. I think all things will continue as they are right now, and then we'll see what happens down the line.
Well, I think it's going to be more struggle than you even think. And as we were talking about before, because we're already getting news here, and it says the Trump administration views the Netflix and Warner Brothers deal with heavy skepticism, says senior official. So we're already getting a pushback on this. The Trump administration has heavy skepticism about the newly announced $72 billion deal for Netflix to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery, film, and streaming assets. Netflix plans to acquire Warner Brothers Film, Studio, and streaming services, HBO Max. Elizabeth Warren said this deal looks like an anti-monopoly nightmare. Skydance has made multiple bids for Warner Brothers. The Trump administration views the proposed $72 billion deal for Netflix to acquire Warner Brothers films and streaming assets with heavy skepticism. A senior administration told CNBC. Netflix said Friday it would acquire the film studio and streaming services. The deal is subject to regulatory approval. And Netflix Warner Brothers would create one massive media giant with control of close to half of the streaming market, threatening to force Americans into higher subscription prices and fewer choices over what and how they watch, while putting Americans workers at risk. Under Trump, the antitrust review process has also become a cesspool of political favoritism and corruption. The Justice Department must enforce our nation's anti-monopoly laws fairly and transparently, not use the Warner Brothers deal to invite influence, peddling, and bribery. Paramount Skydance has made multiple bids for the entirety of Warner Brothers, as opposed to a subset of the company's assets. Paramount's final bid, which was received Thursday evening, was for $30 a share, yada, yada, yada. New York Post on Thursday said that Paramount chief David Ellison met with Trump officials and key lawmakers in Washington on Wednesday to press his case against Warner Brothers Discovery potential selection of Netflix as its merger partner. Ellison's billionaire father, Larry Ellison, is close to Trump. On Thursday, the Wall Street Journal reported that Paramount sent that letter acquiring Warner Brothers streaming and assets would entrench and extend Netflix global dominance in a matter not allowed by domestic or foreign competition laws, Paramount lawyers wrote. Netflix purchase is expected to close, if approved by regulators, after Warner Bros. Completes its previously planned spin-out of Discovery Global, which is currently planned to occur in the third quarter of 2026. Okay, so Trump, even before taking his office for the first term of the White House, opposed a deal by AT&T to buy Time Warner, saying it's too much concentration of power in the hands of too few. So, like you said, guys, this isn't over, like, at all. This is going to be a big fight here. Winston, do you see any world where the DOJ says no, ain't going to happen? And so there's two questions, right? Because if you look at someone like Warren, who doesn't think, and you guys were saying this earlier, that doesn't think anybody should get this thing, and it shouldn't be Skydance, it shouldn't be anybody. It just shouldn't happen. Do you think that it is more likely that it gets nixed and nobody gets it, or it gets nixed because they want the Ellisons to get it?
I see. Here's the thing. This administration is both incredibly predictable and completely unpredictable at the same time, which sounds counterintuitive, but it's kind of not. It definitely, I could see a world where there is a push to do that. And if there was ever a time to try and seem somewhat impartial, it would to just be none of it. I'm serious. Like, nobody can have it. No, we're nixing it all. But I think just because, again, of that relationship, if the administration's already being like, nah, then it does feel like ultimately this is just a move to protect his friends and say, no, you can't do it, but here you go. Like, and then you kind of hand it off to the Ellisons afterwards.
The counter to that, though, Chris, is that, he did make moves in the past to say, I don't think anybody should have these types of, they have too much power in their hands.
Yeah.
Do they stick to that?
I don't know if they will. I mean, either way, I think there's going to be a lot of red tape here, right? Because if it had gone with somebody else, the DOJ would be looking at all of this and they'd be turning their heads because Trump potentially would be saying, hey, no, don't do that to my friends. So either way, we would have had the government involved in this because of the everything involved here. The best thing we can do is just try to figure out how to make so many Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker projects. And then he's going to be so happy that it won't matter. So just rush hour everything.
Then Vincent will be okay with that.
I would
this can go through.
Yeah.
I would be okay. I would be split because, like, if I'm being honest, as excited as I got when I was like, I guess I finally agree with something that Trump has to say. On the flip side, I was like, Rush Hour 3 wasn't very good though. And so then my fear kicked in of like, well, what if they bring it back and then they start tainting my favorite movies?
You never know. But I mean, look, they did that with Beverly Hills Cop, so it's always going to happen. But again, this is not over yet because more and more and more articles are being written as we are speaking. The Hollywood Labor now comes out swinging against Warner Brothers Netflix deal. It said this merger must be blocked. So this is not something that is going to go quietly into the night. The Hollywood Reporter says that now the most severe in its criticism was the Writers Guild of America so far. Everybody hates this deal.
Yeah.
Except Netflix and Warner Brothers. In one of Ted Sarandos' statements on Friday about his streamer's proposed acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery, the Netflix co-CEO proclaimed that the $82.7 billion deal would be a pro-worker deal. Some of the Hollywood's most powerful unions would beg to differ. Statements that streamed steadily into reporters' inboxes after the news broke on Thursday night. Labor organizations represented directors, writers, producers expressed deep concerns about the transaction, arguing that it could quash competition and harm Hollywood's creatives. The most severe in his criticism was the WGA, which said in a statement that this merger must be blocked. The labor group's East and West Coast branches added the world's largest streaming company swallowing one of its biggest competitors is what antitrust laws were designed to prevent. The outcome would eliminate jobs, push down wages, worsen conditions for all entertainment workers, raise prices for consumers, and reduce the volume and diversity of content for all viewers. WGA West Board member Mike Schur, who many know is the co-creator of Parks and Rec, weighed in as well on the social platform Blue Sky, whatever. I showed you how much I use social media. All media mergers. Blue Sky. It should be called Blue Sky. It sounds better than Blue Sky.
I like it.
It kind of does.
It sounds so much better. From now on, I call it Blue Sky. That's it. All media mergers end up hurting writers, actors, directors, and everyone else who works in the industry. He added, fewer companies means fewer jobs. DGA was the first to respond to the news on Thursday, stating that the arrangement raises significant concerns. The union, representing more than 19,500 members on the directing team on sets, added, we believe that a vibrant, competitive industry, one that fosters creativity and encourages genuine competition for talent, is essential to safeguarding the careers and creative rights of directors and their teams. The union said that it would be meeting with Netflix to air its worries and better understand what the streamer plans to do with the 102-year-old studio. Not a union, the trade organization of the Producers Guild of America also got into the mix on Friday, saying producers were rightfully concerned about Warner Brothers changing hands. Organization stated, our industry, together with policymakers, must find a way forward that protects producers' livelihoods and promotes creativity and opportunities for works and artist choice for consumers and freedom of speech. This is the test that potential mergers or sales of our legacy studios must pass. Now, what I will say about this, though, is I feel like I would be reading the same article if Skydance would have bought it.
They already did. They
Yeah.
already put a similar statement out when Paramount was like the clear front runner and things were going in that direction. So let me be clear about this too, because people think that may think that I'm like all jumping for joy that Netflix is doing this. I'm just saying, if we're, like Chris said, if we're stuck between a douche and a turd sandwich, of all of the options, this seems like the best one. However, any of this is a terrible idea. In my mind, with the exception of bringing Marvel back into the fold as a collective whole, I didn't think it was a good idea for Disney and Fox to do what they did. The more you shrink this down, that's exactly what happens. There are less jobs, there are less projects, and you are forcing people to, like, the reason that you're able to see, unfortunately, these insane prices now go up for Disney Plus, ESPN, and Hulu all collectively like that is because they own all of that. So they go, cool, you're going to pay for this bundle whether you like it or not. So yeah,
it's so, and I hate, I'll be the bad guy on all of it too, right? Like I don't hate it as much as you guys do, because I'm looking at it in the side of like in a business owner. If nobody wants, because Zaslav has been wanting to sell this thing since he got it, right? So he's going to sell it to somebody, right? Someone's going to buy it. Now, there's only so many people that have the money to buy it, and in general now there could have been an outside buyer who just decided to come in and buy it in the way that he bought it, right? And there's always going to be like, well, that person has too much money, they shouldn't buy it. Somebody needs to buy it in order to do what you guys are talking about, is to continue it. But if one of those people who are buying it just happens to be another studio, they're going to push together their products that they already have.
Yes,
now, but the other side of it is that when it comes to the streaming prices, right? Now, it's the same thing where, okay, if I'm paying X amount of dollars for HBO Max a month, and let's say I'm paying, I don't know what the price is. Let's say it's $12 a month. It could be more. But let's say it's $12 a month. And Netflix is now $20, and Netflix goes up to $28 a month. Okay, let's say it's more, but let's say $28. I do ask myself, well, what's the difference? I was already paying. If I have HBO Max, I already have now. Maybe you didn't have HBO. Maybe you only had HBO Max. You didn't have Netflix, and that's your argument. And I understand that, but they're acquiring so much different IP and so many different products because, as we were talking about with ticket prices, the reason why Ted Sarandos and everybody else has an argument to make of like, well, this is why we do what we do, because if you're going to go out, like you guys are subscribed to Netflix, you're subscribed to it. So if you sit down, they have a new movie that's out. You sit down, you bring the family out, and you sit down, you turn on that movie, and you watch that movie, and you go, this movie sucks. You are in the comfort of your home. That's part one. Part two, you can stay on Netflix and watch something else that you like. You go to the movies and spend $20, probably the same that you're spending a month at Netflix, and you hate that movie. You feel like you just wasted $20. You just went out, you drove out, you went to the theater, you did this, and maybe you went with a friend, with a date, with a family, whatever it might be. You might be out $60, whatever it might be, $80. And you go back pissed off because the movie you saw sucked and you can't turn something else on. I get their reasoning. I understand it. It's just because we have this traditional idea that we can't break past the traditional idea. So I get it in that side. I'll be the bad guy on it. I get it. But I also understand the pushback.
Yeah, I like you said, any business owner is going to want to do that because you have to keep your prices low and you have to keep things competitive to get the best talent, to get the best customers, and to have them consistently there. So obviously the reason for the monopoly laws and the antitrust, because think about even just playing the game of Monopoly, which is supposed to teach us all how to be good little capitalists. If I own the whole block, you're going to pay for these hotels, whether you want to or not. Yeah. But if I only own St. Charles Place, then I can't jack stuff up. You know what I'm saying? So it is like, again, ultimately for everyone that is not a board member or a major shareholder of one of these two companies, it's not good.
No, you know what it is, Chris? I think it's a matter for me. It's like, is the bang for the buck there? I just feel like the bang for the buck will be there, especially if Netflix gets it. I just feel like it'll be there in general. I don't know if it would have necessarily been there all the way through if Skydance would have got it, because the stuff they had beforehand,
right?
It's okay. The stuff Netflix already has, combining with HBO Max, combining with the new movies. I mean, they have more bang for buck. If it goes up to $30 a month for me, I'd be like, I understand why. I get it. I'm getting all the stuff that I already have. Plus, I don't have that other subscription anymore. So I'll do it. Plus, I get all these other things and live events and everything too. The bang for the buck is there. I don't know if you feel the same.
I mean, in a way I do. I'm a terrible person and I steal my friend's HBO. Hi. Thanks,
Oh,
Tiffany. So we do trades. We're poor.
Yeah.
But I do agree, though, in that the content, I think, is there for me to want to do this. And for me to, because I do pay for Netflix, I do have that. Netflix and Apple are the ones that I go to the most probably, and then HBO, honestly. And so financially, it does make sense. But again, this is why as consumers, it is important for everyone to know this stuff, because these deals affect your bottom line. What streamers can you afford to have? Does this make sense for you? Are we eventually just going to go back to cable? Because that's where we're leading to, of just it's all under one place, under one thing that you pay for. So that's also why, because I know a couple people are like, why do we keep talking about this? This all affects you, not only the media you consume, but the way you spend your money and the dollars you earn going to
it's
stuff.
Huge. Yeah.
So you got to know about it.
It also is going to destroy what it is going to do is that Netflix becomes this powerhouse, as they were saying, what people are scared of, and rightfully so. If I'm like Peacock and Paramount Plus and all that, I'd be scared out of my mind, because I'm like, if they build their price up to say $31, and you now, if you're a consumer and you're going, oh my God, $31, do I want to get rid of Netflix and just keep my other ones? Well, I got Peacock. What do they have? Well, they lost WWE. They got shit. What about Paramount? Well, they got shit.
Well,
and what about HBO Max? And they're on Netflix. So Apple, it's only going to be Apple versus Netflix.
Yeah, because for Apple, that's just playtime. They don't really like. They're just like,
Apple's like, we put on good shit. We put on good shit. You don't want to subscribe to us? Up to you. We're making more money hand over fist anyway. We're just putting out good shit. And that's why they can put out F1, make it for $250 million. And it's like, look, we just made another great movie. And they make great shows. So Apple, it'll be Apple versus Netflix.
It 1,000% will be, and and Amazon, because same thing. They have spare money to just throw stuff around, but like
it's not their primary business.
It's not, and that's literally why Apple and Amazon have been able to cut in the way they have, is because it's not their primary business. They make money, and the funny thing is, again, that's where Disney at this point, even though that is the main thing we know them
forgot
from,
about them
because of
totally forgot about them.
They have fully done their thing. But that to me, I think, is the funny part about this full court press and almost bro tactic of Skydance buying Paramount and be like, and now we're going to use this to win. We getting Warner Brothers. And the reason Paramount's been looking for a buyer for years, because they have not been doing well. Like I remember tracking all of this as this was going on. They literally were using Paramount as a stepping stone to get to this thing. So to get this far and essentially be Tom Brady with the perfect season and blow it to the Giants just feels really weird. You know what I mean? I figured you would appreciate that, Chris.
I did appreciate that. So look, and the same thing. It's not over yet. It's really not over yet, and it'll continue to go, and we'll have more conversations about it. So very curious what you guys are thinking overall about all the stuff that we just covered, and then we're going to get so much more of your thoughts because there's so many questions right now that are coming in. And like I said, we need Chris is at 156 from yesterday. We need just about 100 for Winston and Chris to win. 100 more for Chris and Winston to win. Right now, Chris is on the leaderboard. But before we even get to those questions, we're going to take a quick break. And I'm going to tell you guys, as I've been trying to give you guys options for the holidays. I've been doing that. I'm going to tell you about Ridge. Ridge has been on board for a bit, and then Nutrafol. So I'll tell you about both of those, and then we'll be right back.
Hey, Willie!
I had a big old stupid wallet that people used to make fun of me of, like a brick. It was old school, and it was such a burden to carry around all the time. So I don't have that anymore. Why? Ridge, it's the best. And you think Ridge was great? Now say hello to the Ridge 2.0. It's the refined version of the Ridge wallet. It's been perfecting the wallet for over 12 years, and everything is better on the Ridge 2.0. It's 10% lighter. Every gram matters in that Ridge wallet 2.0. It's the perfect balance. It really is. They made it more modular with improved cash straps, money clips, and the AirTag attachments. So here's what's cool, too. They have over 50 colors and styles to choose from. You can get a wallet that features every NFL, MLB, or college team. I got the New York Giants one. I love it. It's so convenient. And it really is right now perfect for holiday gifting. I'm giving one of these. We're doing a white elephant, and I guarantee you people are going to be fighting over this Ridge wallet. It's so good. It's not just about the wallets, though. They create premium everyday carry essentials. They have key cases, they have suitcases, and they have a game-changing power banks, all built with the same sleek, durable design that you're going to find the perfect gift for every wish list. Try this season. You're going to thank me. People who give it to you are going to thank me. Losing your wallet, it really is the worst, but here's the trick. With the Ridge Tracker card, you're always going to know where your wallet is. It's perfect before that panic mode just kicks in. Perfect peace of mind for the holiday travel and gifting. For a limited time, Ridge is having their huge holiday sale. If you head on over to ridge.com, you're going to get up to 47% off your order. By far the biggest discount that they've given all year. That is ridge.com for up to 47% off your order during their biggest sale of the year. Now, you're going to purchase. After you purchase, they're going to say, where'd you hear about us? You say, Kristian sent us. Please support the show and tell them that we sent you. Ridge.
And you know this, man?
So happy to be with Nutrafol for as long as we have been, because it's the holiday season, and man, oh man, what a gift, what a thoughtful gift Nutrafol could be. Because if you give Nutrafol, you give the gift of stronger and faster growing hairs. It really is an ideal gift for anyone who deserves a boost of confidence, science-backed support heading into the new year. And this holiday season, Nutrafol is the perfect gift for anyone on your list. It could be for your mom. It could be for your aunt going through menopause. It's maybe a friend who just had a baby and is experiencing postpartum hair shedding. Your husband, your father who relies on his baseball hat to cover things up. Yourself. Or anyone looking to support their overall hair health. It's probably not something you've ever even thought of as a gift. Trust me, they're going to be thanking you later, giving something that someone actually needs instead of a mug or a T-shirt or a gift card. I'm telling you, it's thoughtful, it's impactful, and it is a way to show that you really care this holiday season. You can feel great knowing that Nutrafol's hair growth supplements are backed by peer-reviewed studies and NSF content certified. It really is the gold standard in third-party certification. Give the gift of confidence this holiday season with Nutrafol. Now, whether you're treating yourself or someone on your list, visibly healthier, thicker hair is the gift that keeps on giving. Right now, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription plus free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com. Use the promo code Kristian. Nutrafol.com, promo code Kristian. $10 off. Nutrafol.
Thank you to Nutrafol. Thank you to Ridge. Again, all of our wonderful sponsors are in the description. Not only do you help the show out tremendously when you use those links, you're going to get yourself something great and something for people for the holidays. So use it. All right, guys, let's get into it. We got 61 so far. Or Chris Carr trying to take herself out.
Yeah,
that's where we're at.
I was so sad because I saw that Derek Johnson was throwing in that support like crazy yesterday. He sent one in early for $100 talking about, hey, y'all, I'm real tied up with whatever's going on. Yeah. I sent one in and he couldn't send the multiples.
I know. Just couldn't do it.
No, but thank you, Derek.
Derek's the man. Derek did a big push yesterday. So, all right, here we go. First one. And it's actually, hey, Mr. CJ. Happy Friday, capes and cows roll out. Thank you. Hey, Mr. CJ. For also hashtagging I wish I knew. Yeah. Johnny Patriza says RIP to Mr. Carrie Tugwawa. Let's see. Who am I missing here? Hold on. Carrie. I want to make sure. Oh no. Carrie Tugwawa died. I did not know that.
What happened?
Legendary. He died from a stroke. 75 years old. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible. Mortal Kombat, of course.
Shoot.
Okay.
His soul is in heaven.
Yeah, that's right. Oh man. All right. Well, thank you for letting us know that. Let's see, next one after that. And that would be Justin Sidorsky. Can't often join live. I wanted to say congrats on all you're doing with your show. Thank you. I independently published my own novel, so it's inspiring to see. Thank you, Justin. Yeah, we're gonna have we're really putting together some fun, crazy stuff and how it's being put together. I talked to the director. It's gonna be kind of revolutionary, to be honest. It's kind of brand new. I'm pretty excited about it. Christopher Brickner. Kristian, remember how just yesterday you said it was guaranteed Paramount would win the WB bidding wars? It took one day for you to be proven wrong. I said it, Chris. I started the show by saying I was 100% wrong. 100%.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to make sure. Okay, so there were 5 that weren't registered. We actually have 67. 67. It says 62. It's 67. Mike Joyce. Zoloft was too kind of a nickname for Zaslav. I mean, I don't know. I only call him Zoloft when he's making really stupid deals. You don't have to like the fact that he's selling it, but as a business deal, I'm not going to call him Zoloft for this one.
I feel like now he's called Forbes off.
I know. You can't. Well, no Forbes. No Forbes.
Frazier, I forgot.
No Forbes.
But they said so.
No Forbes.
Forbes said it.
Forbes said so. Frazier Alex, 1993. And I'm speaking of that Forbes, I'm so disappointed. Like Winston, in the same way that if you would mention Forbes and I was busting your balls about it too, and I was having fun, and I was like, oh, okay, we using that as a thing. The fucking guy was like, oh, you can't take a criticism. I'm like, no, I was playing with you, you fuck. I was playing with you. And then you can't. I'm like, you're out.
That's why
you're out of here.
That's why I feel like
I can't do this. I was like, oh, making fun of the fans is a choice. No, it was exact opposite, you putz. I was saying thank you for playing at the table and hanging out. Let's fuck around. And I hate shit like that. If you don't understand my sense of humor, no, there's
Kristian,
tons of other channels. Go away.
I'll be honest with you. That's actually one of the funniest things. A lot of times, like, have you ever been to a black barbershop before?
Yeah, I actually have.
Oh, so just the idea of like watching the random white dude that's ever been there, and everybody's just breaking balls, like you're roasting each other constantly, and not. I thought
he was in on it yesterday, and then he was like, "Oh, you're making a fun of the someone who's throwing a super chat as a choice." I'm like, "No, I was inviting you in. Having fun."
You even said it. You said, "I don't know if you're actually whatever." Or
I thought he was messing around, but then he was serious. He wrote back on the comments. I'm like, I appreciate it, and I do appreciate that you put the comment in, but you should find a different channel. Fraser, Alex, go support your local art house theater indie film. Definitely,
Yes.
100%.
I would even add to that. Go get a Dropout TV subscription.
Absolutely.
There you go. I'm curious. Netflix does have an opportunity here to do something pretty special if they wanted to, too. They really could. They could change it. They could change stuff around if they wanted to and prove everybody wrong. Fraser, Alex, live for the first time. Thanks for the great content. You are welcome. Thank you for being here. Appreciate that very much. Captain Fernandez, Netflix wants that sweet Warner Brothers IP so they can pump out AI generated content featuring Batman and Potter. Well, do they do a lot of AI stuff, Netflix?
I didn't think so, but I honestly don't know the answer to that.
I know Disney's been experimenting with it more.
Yeah, I canceled my Disney Plus because of it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Connor Mullis, 23. What's up, Connor? I'm back. Sorry for not being around as much as comment. Work has been busy. Hey, never apologize. We understand. Life gets in the way sometimes, my friend. Okay. And this one is Yoshimitsu 5537. Weeks ago, Jeff Snyder guessed that Ellison was just colluding with Zaslav to jack up the price with fake bids and never actually intended to buy Warner Brothers. Ellison? I thought I was the opposite. I thought it was Sarandos.
I find that hard to believe for the main reason of Skydance spent so much money on Paramount, and Paramount was very much in like 4th, 5th place. You're not
they're writing letters about it. I mean,
you're not wasting billions so you can.
I don't agree with that. Joe Hendo TV. It's just mind-boggling. There are some people happy about the news. Do they not realize the effect it'll have on the entertainment industry? I mean, happy is a, I think maybe what you were saying, what Chris and Winston were saying, I think it's more so of happy that it was Netflix as opposed to Paramount. I think is maybe where you're getting more of the happiness side of it, is what I've seen anyway.
That's literally it, and that's why I reiterated. Again, as somebody that works in this industry, no, I'm not happy at the idea that you have now less job. Like, imagine even the person that, like, you're doing your thing, you end up in a situation where, like, it didn't work out for Netflix. You're like, I'm just gonna go to Warner's. So you go over to Warner's, you're having a good time, and all of a sudden it's like, guess who just bought your job? Like, it's again, it's not a good thing as an overall, but if these were our options.
Yeah, I know. I'm definitely thinking of my friends over there at both Warner Bros. And Netflix. I'm wondering how that's going to work.
I got some calls to make after this.
Dennis Hoffman. Well, I just thought about that too. I'm not going to make any calls because I know what the answer is going to be. We don't know yet.
Yeah, I mean, there's
you know what I mean?
Yes, there's one friend of mine that works at Warner Brothers that works pretty high up, and she has been terrified. For
she probably still doesn't know.
She still doesn't know.
Yeah.
So
So Dennis Hoffman, happy Ellisons didn't get Warner Brothers. Agree with Rocha on the Ellisons placating to the current administration. This makes sense, but sucks for the industry. Another round of layoffs for Warner Brothers. Well, that's inevitable. That there's going to be more layoffs for sure. The question is, there going to be layoffs on the Netflix side too? To bring in some of the new Warner Brothers people. Might be, because like I said, look at the publicist side of things. There's so many publicists, but there's a lot of great publicists that they're going to have at Warner Brothers. Do they keep them up there to say, like, well, no, we need you guys to do the film theatrical stuff? Our people really don't do that, or do they do the opposite and say, well, thank you, we have people on our side that we're going to actually give to the theatrical now, and thank you for your service, and see you later. I don't know, and it can go anyway. Brody Bruce, I'm neither excited or angry about the deal. I just want my comic book movies, and we'll wait and see how it works out. Totally fair. First of all, very, very generous super chat. Thank you so much. Will Swamp Thing surface in the Upside Down and defeat Vecna? That's amazing. Well, this is a good question, by the way. Will Batman and Robin team up with Scooby-Doo again? That's another question.
So.
That'd be cool.
Could they start to pair off some of these, franchises together that they have inside of, the Netflix originals? Yeah.
Does Netflix still have the WWE, or where is that now?
Well, it's all over the place. It's got a deal. Well, so here's someone asked this, and I think, it might be a super chat that I'm about to ruin, but I saw it come in. I don't know if it was a super chat or not, but either way, AEW is on Max, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So then, on Netflix, how long is their deal? Is it they're gonna have WWE and AEW on the same on Netflix? You remember AEW's contract about to get paid off.
Yeah, the only reason why I was curious is because I was like, I mean, if we're getting another John Cena Scooby-Doo crossover, I'm here for that all day. That was one of my favorites.
Yes.
Thank you, Brody. Again, it was very, very generous.
Yeah.
Connor Mullis, 23. I would love to see a Zack Snyder Justice League Dark movie set in Gunn's DCU. Maybe Netflix would do something like that. Maybe Netflix would do darker shit. I mean, I think Clayface is perfect for Netflix.
Well, Justice League Dark specifically is referring to, if you're not familiar, Christian, the like essentially magical elements of the Justice League. So Constantine, Zatanna, Swamp Thing, like all of them dealing with Etrigan. But it tends to be not just dark because of like dark magic, but like actually dark because Constantine's an asshole. So like I honestly thought that was always, based off of how Snyder likes to do his stuff, that was always the lane, in my opinion, he should have played with more than trying to make Superman broody.
Right.
I think that taking Justice League Dark and running with that would have been fire. But that's just me.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Gerard. Winston, sorry about your Cowboys. Maybe next year. At least they finished 500.
I was going to ask you about
Almost
this because I actually knew about sports.
Yeah, that was rough to watch yesterday while trying to work. It was not fun. It is what it is. I'll get over it. The season was already a wash as is. So
yeah, 2-11. All right, and not you, Giants. And Andrew Brown. The most interesting part of this purchase is the gaming unit, as Netflix has wanted to get into the gaming industry, and now they are in. Does Warner Brothers have a big gaming side too?
Yeah, they do. Warner's
do.
has a massive gaming side. Like,
I know that. Stupid. I knew that from working there. I used to go over there and test out the games with when Jason, what's his face, was there. Shit. Anyway, okay, that is big. That's Chris. That's a great point.
Yeah, no, that is a very good point. But also, I just want to remind everyone that Warner Brothers Game, one of the biggest holdouts throughout all of the voice acting SAG-AFTRA strikes.
Oh, right, they were.
So that also gives me a little bit of pause too. Our next negotiation is going to be so rough.
A pain,
which we all knew because of AI too, but it's
right.
There's a lot going on here.
Connor Mullis Wilson, our Cowboys broke my heart last night.
That was rough, man. Dak looked like he was running from like a pack of wolves. It was crazy.
Currently at 75, guys. 75, not bad.
Hey.
Not bad.
All right.
Matt Thomas, what's up, man? People are ignoring the threat of losing physical media stock up on WB titles. It's true. Now, while you still can, Comcast was the best option. This is F. I don't know. Comcast was the best option in general, but maybe as far as that particular reasoning, then maybe you're right. But look, it's the same thing I just said, though. We don't know if Netflix is going to change strategy at all because it's not just Netflix anymore. It's Netflix plus Warner Brothers. I think it's like I'll use, as Winston was using the sports analogy, I'll use a wrestling one too. I feel like I've always said this, even I worked for the company when it happened. When WWE bought WCW, it was WWF at the time. I always thought it would make the most sense to run two brands at the same time and they have the WWF, WCW, and then you have your big events that you would have yearly, and then you can match up the talents, and then you finally could do it. Because we always wanted to see Ric Flair and Hogan when it was WCW, but you never could happen because they couldn't have contracts. But if you ran them two at the same time, and you ran this legendary company and this other legendary company, you ran them. But instead they did the invasion, they combined everything, and it just diluted the product, and that was the end of the legacy. And Netflix could be in that same position. You've got Warner Brothers, which is this legendary thing. Run it on its own. Let it be its own thing. Don't dissolve it. And again, I understand dissolving Max. I get it. I hate it, but I understand it. But run it. Don't let it dissolve, and then that's what people are afraid of.
And I don't agree that Comcast would have been the best option, because that's the same issue that you have with Paramount. You're taking one of the major actual film studios, and then you're deciding to mash NBC Universal and Warner Brothers together. That's the same problem as Paramount. And again, if I'm keeping it a buck, obviously I know I lean more towards the left on things. You're also running the risk of now you're getting CNN and everything else like that, that you're going to push all of that. I think you need to have the balance of both. I do not think that would have been the best option.
Yeah, that option seemed boring to me too. Seemed boring too. Gerard, Kristian, would you ever consider a reaction video for the Alex Proyas movie Dark City? You don't have to write Alex Proyas on there, because I love that movie. It was where The Matrix got The Matrix from. Great movie. Same guy directed 1994 The Crow. Again, you don't have to tell me. Love the movie. Saw it in the theater. My problem with doing a reaction to it is my fear of a lot of things. I mean, The Departed didn't do well.
That was crazy.
It did okay. Did okay. But the Departed did. So it's like, no one's going to watch Dark City. Now, Sam's never seen The Matrix, so I'll probably do The Matrix. But I love that movie, Dark City. Connor Mullis, did you ever fill a bowl up with water and drink it like a puppy? I do. It's exhilarating. Okay, Connor. I feel you. I feel
don't
you.
want to admit that I've done that before.
Have you? There you go. Well, you just did. Jay Morgan, Kristian and Winston, you guys watching Hard Knocks NFC East? No, go Birds. Stop that. Shut up, Winston. And hi, Chris. Shout out.
It's actually good.
Yeah. Shout out Muppets Christmas Carol, the best.
Yes, it is.
That's your favorite, right?
It's my favorite movie of all time. I can quote so much of it.
It's amazing. I love that.
You
I do all
should
the
watch it,
voices.
Christian. There's a really great moment with.
I've seen it a long time ago, I think.
No. I meant a Hard Knocks NFC East.
Oh.
It's like there's this awesome moment with Jameis Winston. I don't know if you watched the game like a week or so ago where
Florida
he
State.
played a tight end and was jumping over people and doing his touchdown. Dude, it's really good.
Florida State. Woo. All right, let's see. Okay. 80. The fight is real at 80. Connor Mullis, Netflix will slowly put less Warner Brothers movies in theaters over the next few years and more to streaming. I don't trust Sarandos. I think out of all the peeps, I kind of trust him the most. He seems to me the most real out of all of them, to be honest.
Yeah. He still seems like a CEO of a Fortune,
of course.
Fortune 500, but
Yeah.
We could be completely wrong here. But the vibes I was just getting as a whole is that one felt like they were very clearly putting their evil master plan on the table, and the other one at least is presenting that it'll be fine, but I'm still concerned.
Yeah, I get it. Trash Panda, where you been? The domino effect is fascinating. For example, does HBO disappear from satellite cable providers? That's a great question. Probably the answer is probably yes. For the duration of the contract, whenever it is. Does Netflix keep Warner Bros. IP involvement in Six Flags? That's what we were talking about before. Will shorter theatrical impact theater ticket costs? These are fantastic questions by Trash Panda all the way through. So start with, does HBO disappear from satellite cable providers? I think we all agree, yes, until the contract runs out. Does Netflix keep the involvement in Six Flags? Now, Chris, that's what you said earlier, right? They own it. Why not capitalize on it?
Yeah. Well, and I think a lot of these two, they are different divisions, but if you own the IP, my understanding is then you have access to that.
Right.
So that also, though, I mean, Universal it still has a whole bunch of, Marvel superheroes in Florida. So that whole situation is very, very messy and convoluted because, you go to Universal and the X-Men come out and take pictures with you and you're like, what are you doing here?
Right. And then I guess the final one there, Winston, is will shorter theatrical impact theater ticket costs?
I mean, in the sense that the fear that theaters will go away, so that might affect the cost.
But I think it means a matter of whether people are going to see it or not, because it's like, hey, I can see this in 30 days in my house, or 25 days in my house, and I don't have to see it. But I just feel that the way that it's already set up today is that if you want to see it in the movies, you're going to see it in the movies. I just feel like that, not that it doesn't affect it, but I just feel like if you want to see it in the theater, you want to see it in the theater.
Yeah.
Aiden Doherty says, Ted Sarandos just said my pushback has been mostly in the fact of the longer exclusive windows, which we don't really think are that consumer friendly.
That was such a nice way for him to say, I want to put stuff on Netflix sooner.
Right.
Yeah. When did he say this? I'm just curious.
He said, so I don't know.
Yeah, this was a statement that I saw earlier this morning because that's why I wanted to bring up the shorter windows because that is something that he's talked about with the evolution of how it's going to go. And I understand this. I completely understand, just like you were saying, Kristian, of like, if you want to see it in theaters, you will. And also, if you are a parent with kids, going to the movies is expensive if you're not all on A-list. Even if you all are, it's still expensive. Yeah. And so I understand the idea of it is consumer friendly to put this on a streaming service that you are already paying money for. Mm-hmm. However, that is also packaged nicely to say, and aren't I the guy to do it?
Right. Yeah. Right. And again, I'll be the bad guy. Is it wrong for him to say it?
No.
Not really, if it's his business.
Smart. It's smart.
This is his business. And he's going to go, look, here's the deal. I
don't have to like it for it to be smart.
Yeah. Here's the deal. I am now 100%. You're right. But it's like, if I go, look, here's the deal. Yesterday, I didn't own all of this. Today I do, or I will. Right. So inside of that, what I'm going to tell you is this: a lot of people didn't have the opportunity to say that, oh, well, we like the 45, or keeping the 45. I don't like the 45. I'm going to make it 25. And then it's going to be on my platform. You want to go see it in the theater? Go see it in the theater. But because it doesn't affect me and it actually helps me that you're going to watch it when it hits on the streaming, we don't make the money we made in the theater. Fine. Watch it on streaming.
That's where I just continue to, again, that's where these antitrust laws kick in. That's where these monopoly laws kick in.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that you would hope at your core that even if you were trying to do good business, like you can still do good business with the way it's set up now, that people would do what is ultimately kind of the right thing as far as options and stuff like that. But again, people are literally playing the game of Monopoly and saying, no, I'm shutting all this down.
Right. Aiden. So I hope at the very least that they want to go that route. They don't take it out of theaters as soon as it goes to Netflix, but that way we still have an option. Still bleak for theaters, though, either way. That's also a great point, though.
Yeah.
That's also a great point. Like there are times like you look at Superman, right? Superman went to digital after 30 days or whatever it was, but it stayed in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
So Netflix has traditionally said, all right, 2 weeks, now it's out. Now you can only watch it on Netflix. That's, I guess, the question of will they continue to do that? Yeah. Alex, I walk away for 5 minutes and the movie industry's gone to shit. What the hell, guys?
Where were you, Alex?
Yeah.
Where were you?
Right. You also don't know yet. People right away will say, this is the worst. What if it happens to be good? That's the other question I always ask people, though, too, because it seems like most people, once they have their idea set in their mind of what it's going to be, it's always going to be that. But what if it turns out to be a good thing? You know, I know that in people's heads, they go, I don't know if it could ever be good because of the monopoly in it. But what if it happens actually turns out to be a good thing? Would people actually say that it was a good thing? Probably not.
A few people that are honest about stuff. Most people won't. They still grumble.
Unheard Sirens Incorporated. I hope the Netflix deal means that they're casting a new Batman. And that, of course, would be the one and only
motherfucking Batman.
Paul Giamatti.
That's hilarious that we took that the last time I had a handlebar mustache, too.
It's pretty good. I like to see it. Okay. Thank you, Unheard of. So Benzo 503 says, hey, what do you guys think? This is okay. I answered this one earlier. Thinks it means for AEW since Netflix already has WWE. I think it means AEW would be in serious trouble. You'd probably go to Paramount. Honestly, probably not. No, because you know what? They probably wouldn't go to Paramount because TKO has UFC over at Paramount.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably like, no, don't put that over there.
Do they go to Comcast?
Maybe.
NBC Universal?
Maybe. So yeah, they're probably not gonna. They'll probably get rid of that contract, I would assume. But because I don't know when their contract ends. Because remember, this deal is not going to go through until late next year, early 2027. Connor Mullis, maybe if Gunn stays, this will help him expand his DC faster with more money and resource allocation for series, with movies being event things. Trying to stay positive. That's the other thing we didn't talk about, Winston, is that by the time this deal comes through, Gunn's contract will probably be either over or almost over.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. I didn't even think because his contract was what, 5 years?
Yeah, contract's up at the end of November of next year, I think.
Yeah, so it's also crazy that we started talking about him getting that job.
It was 3 years.
That long ago. That's crazy that that I remember when you and Coy were talking about him getting the job and what that meant, that it's already almost up. I don't like how fast time moves.
I know. Gerard. Winston, Cowboys fans woke up back to reality. They got too high in their own supply after beating the Eagles and Chiefs at home. They forgot how bad their road record is, 1-5. RIP.
Well, we have a cupcake scheduled to end the whole thing, but we do need a lot of help. But I don't think most Cowboys fans, myself included, were like, this is it. Finally, we're going to the Super Bowl. No, we knew we were in a hole. So it was still a long shot. I think it was more of a wake-up call to both the Eagles and the Chiefs of, your shit stinks and you need to do something about it.
Right. Fair. Well,
Did you say you have a cupcake scheduled?
A cupcake scheduled, meaning that it's soft and sweet. It's not. Yep. It's not hard. It's not hard. It was easy.
Thank you.
That's hilarious.
That is hilarious. I'm trying to find this video because I see this next thing that was super chatted in. Oh, I do have it. Hold on. I do have it. I will bring this up because this is pretty damn funny. Give me a second because I want to bring it.
Kristian, it was a 4-year deal that started May of
4.
23, so it's over in 27.
Yeah. Oh, 27?
It's over in May of 27. It's a 4-year deal.
I thought it was 2022.
I'm looking right now. James Gunn's contract serving as CEO of DC Studios with a 4-year deal starting around May of 2023.
Oh wow. Okay. So May. All right. Interesting. All right. Let's see. I want to bring this up here because I have to. I got to bring this up. Where is it? Where is it? Hold on. Share screen. Okay. This is it. All right. That's it. All right. We'll bring this up in just a second. Okay. If you haven't watched the latest Hot Mic episode, you got to react to the 21-minute mark. Something happens to Snyder's. Have you guys seen this?
No.
This is pretty good.
There is some overlap there.
Right.
Jesus! Oh my God!
I think his brother like tackled him in the middle of him
I
being home.
saw a tweet about that,
It's
but I hadn't
pretty
seen it. That's hilarious.
It's pretty good. That was good. That was hilarious. I think his brother's a pretty funny dude. Connor Mullis, it's time to pick shit up in the forklift. Frick yeah, gotta love the much energy. That's right. That's right, Connor. Glad your nonsense is back. Brandon, I'm enjoying the good vibes today. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you for helping me get through an anxious day. I love hearing stuff like that. I'm glad that you're not having an anxious day anymore. Hopefully we brought some laughs to you.
Yeah, man.
Casual Scroll. Who had the best monologue speech? Luthen from Andor, What Do I Sacrifice? Or Magneto, X-Men 97, Do Not Make Me Let You Down? I got to go Luthen.
Oh, I'm Magneto all day.
Yeah.
Haven't seen Andor, so I gotta go Magneto.
How dare you?
All right. OG Bobby Johnson. I'm kind of shocked that Netflix might win this bidding war. Me too. In my opinion, I think it made most sense for Netflix to use WB as a theatrical arm. Yeah. Netflix still did DVDs till 2023.
Yeah.
If they do that, I'm telling you, WCW, WWF, telling you. But run it as a separate thing. Connor Mullis, guess what I'm eating? Cheese.
Cucumbers.
Eggs.
Nice. We'll find out soon. Derek, just dropping the support. Thank you, Derek. It's huge from DJ. My hands are too tight for multiple supports. Love the show and chat. Yep.
Since he always sends them in $2 increments, I feel like.
Doesn't
I
work.
feel like.
Gotta break them up.
Don't
Gotta
work
break them
that
up.
way.
Yeah.
Don't work that way.
God
One right now at 90. So Connor Mullis, if you guessed meatloaf, you'd be correct. Meatloaf. So juicy, so medium. I'm looking at my plate. Hell yeah, brother. So I'll tell you that.
Get it, Connor.
Sadie makes a hell of a meatloaf.
Does she?
Yeah, she makes chicken and turkey.
I do a good one where I put a brick of cheese in the middle.
Oh damn.
Whoa.
Why am I not losing weight, you guys? I think I found it.
I have an idea.
Oh no,
John,
it's left.
John DX Dragon. Netflix buying Warner Brothers is the best option. They understand the average viewer who struggles affording theaters. Many artists, critics seem to not care the same way. Netflix puts the consumer first and listens. This is what I'm saying. They have made their fan base and their subscribers happy. Like if you're going to ask most streamers or most people who have streaming, what are you most happy with out of all your things that are most consistent? Now I know a lot of people say Apple because of their quality of their show, and I don't. But overall, most people are going to say Netflix.
It has a bigger catalog. Apple has bangers. Like that is such high quality.
Right.
But there's so much more on Netflix. And I can watch my trash Christmas movies.
Yes. But that's my point from before, Chris, is that you feel like you're getting the most bang for your buck.
Yep.
And the minute they started branching out into this live stuff.
Yeah.
Like the minute they decided we're going to go and get Paul versus Tyson.
Well, they're going to witness. You're going to witness Paul's murder against Joshua.
Yeah, you got that too. At the minute you decided to go get NFL on for Christmas, and then did the Beyonce Bowl and all that stuff, bro.
So
like they,
yeah, it's crazy. GoPal from Dan's take this morning. It sounded like Netflix offered $28 a share, and Paramount was at $27 by $1. So that's what I'm saying. So by $1.
Well, that's what I'm. The final number was 30. So. Like from what because even the article that we read said that the final
said 30.
number
It
was
did say 30. Yeah, I don't know. John DX Dragon. I do wonder what this means for DC. Anything is possible. I do believe if the deal is safe proof in Q3 2026, Netflix will in fact reboot the DC. Unlike Gunn, they will push the big hitters from the start. that all just depends on who they're going to get to run it. If they don't continue Gunn's contract, I think. But here's the difference. So I think if they keep Gunn on, they're going to let him run his thing until the contract's out and reevaluate it once it's done.
I'm also confused. Is Superman not a big hitter?
Well, no. So, no. I know Superman started with. We had this conversation yesterday. So, of course, Superman's a big hitter, but that's not what he's talking about.
Oh.
Right after that is Clayface, Lantern's TV show,
Supergirl.
Supergirl,
I got you.
and then it's like, where's Batman? Where's Wonder Woman? Where's the Flash? Where's Aquaman? Like, and yes, as Chris said yesterday, we just did that with Zack Snyder. Let's do something different. But the problem is that you're in this position where you've got to succeed, and you're leaving all this on the table. Real Shields, WGA is issuing a statement to block the sale. Yeah, we covered that one for sure. Eric Slaby, what's the earliest that this sale could be realized and in place? 2027 or 2028? I think it can't be done until Warner Bros. Disc is fully split, which is Q3 2026. I think early 2027, late 2026 is when this happens.
I think because you're going to have Paramount raising a fuss if the Trump administration really decides that they want to weigh in and push the DOJ. I think this ain't wrapping up till the end of 27, and it kicks off.
Wow.
Just because if you got the labor unions already complaining, you've got Ellison complaining, you got Trump weighing in.
Right. It's probably going to be a bigger stink. It's not going to be very easy. Yeah, you're probably right. Okay, let's see. Next one after that. Go, pal. It's not clear to me when they report per share offer numbers if Netflix is giving more for half of Warner Brothers than Paramount offered for the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, I think there's more details that are coming out too. There's way more details and everything too. Like I said, this story is far from over, as Frank Stallone said. Go, pal. The hilarious part was Paramount letter saying the acquisition would be pro-competitive while Netflix is anti-competitive. Right. I mean, that is silly. Eric Slavey, in my opinion, Netflix is going to shrink the theatrical from 45, 60 days to maybe 30. I think that's probably right, at least specifically for WB produced films. I think 30 days will probably be what happens. Anybody disagree?
I think the only exception to that rule, if it is something like major event wise that they're cleaning house like the way Barbie was doing, you leave it alone. But if it's something on like kind of the smaller side, then it's probably 30 days.
Yes and no. The difference with that is, but this is the difference with Netflix owning it. When you're someone like even HBO Max, where your primary business in HBO Max is not, or Warner Bros. Was not your streaming. It wasn't your primary business. Your primary business with Netflix is your streaming.
Sure.
So if you have something like Barbie, as you're mentioning, after 30 days, you're like, put it on. Let's get it out of theaters. Put it on the streaming service now. Let's get more people subscribed now.
I get that. I guess the only thing that would make sense, like you said, keep it the WCW and the WWF. If you're literally watching, you could easily put that in the contract.
If it's still delivering, why mess with it?
Based off of metrics, this is your window is either this. If it's not bringing it in, then we're moving it to this.
Well, you know what, Winston? Maybe it's a mixture of both, right? Maybe it's what we were talking about before. Maybe it's like, okay, let's using the Barbie thing. Barbie now it's been out 30 days. It's got 2 more weeks before it hits $1 billion, right? What do? We'll put it on Netflix, but leave it in the theater. Maybe they do something like that.
Yeah, I think it would be smart for them if they're going to do it. I'm obviously no lawyer and I'm obviously not a CEO, but you put it in the contract that if you meet these metrics by this time,
right?
This was your budget.
Right.
If you hit this number,
yeah.
It will be a longer window. If it's not hitting those numbers, then we're pulling it after X amount of time and throwing it on the streamer.
It's a good point. Eric, Gunn will be under the wait and see from Netflix, in my opinion. Well, not only do I think that's the case, I think that should be the case. I think that if I'm Sarandos, I go, look, let's see what you got. Let's see how Lanterns does for us. Well, but by the way, and I say that, Lanterns will still be on HBO Max next year. Yeah. As we just said, this deal's not going through for a while. Mm-hmm. So the contract will, he might not be on a wait and see with Netflix. He might not even be there. Because if you go, by the time you get to when this deal is going to go through, let's say Winston's right. And let's say it's 2028. Winston, you just said that his contract ends in 2027. Mm-hmm. So at that point, who's he negotiating with? in 2027? Who's he negotiating with? If the deal doesn't go through, who's he negotiating with?
That's a great point.
So we don't know yet. Prady Sarandos this morning on CNBC said that the plan is that HBO Max will be integrated into Netflix, a la Hulu getting integrated into Disney Plus. That'd be cool though. If you go to Netflix and you just see the the HBO Max logo on there, then you just have like a brand there. I mean, I like when they do that.
Yeah, I agree.
Slaby, with Netflix owning Harry Potter, how will that affect a park like Universal, which just announced that they're expanding it worldwide? Will they license Harry Potter from them? I would assume so, right, Chris?
Yeah, that's probably what will happen. It'll be just
They would
another purchasing back and forth
Right.
situation.
Yeah, we own it. Give us more money.
I honestly see a scenario where, again, Universal and Netflix start talking, and as you mentioned, cool, can we throw Stranger Things in this book? Hell yeah, come on. 11 throwing around Demogorgons, let's do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Shawnee Bear, WWE moves to Netflix. What happens to AEW, which is on Netflix and TNT? Or so it's on TNT and HBO Max. We talked about that earlier. We all agree that their contract will probably get pulled. Future Guide Zeiss Dimension, HBO, Netflix a la carte services, Netflix, HBO, Warner Bros., live TV, news, and keep the WB infrastructure. Again, reiterating and saying the same thing. WWF, WCW, run two brands. That would give you the most people saying, "Oh, okay, I like what they're doing here. You own this, so run it. Run Warner Bros. Keep the lot, run the movies things, condense the service." Elijah Vids, $199. Thank you. 95 currently, guys. 95.
Okay.
Putting up a fight. Still in third place though. Roca and Kalinowski were at 118.
Damn.
Alex, sorry if you covered this already, but if this deal holds, that means HBO is dead now. Seems like HBO would be dead now, depending on what we just said there beforehand.
I think similar to the way you had, I know that that's a whole film studio, but the way you now have 20th Century, they just took the word Fox.
Right.
I don't think HBO is such a big brand. There is no world
I would hope not.
that you ask that, because what was the one thing we've been clowning Warner for forever? It's Max now. Why? HBO was the name. What the hell is a Max?
Right. Slavey, based on monopoly laws of either Paramount or Netflix bought WB, they would become a monopoly. My guess is this gets approved eventually. I think everybody kind of agrees it's going to get approved eventually. Connor, major DC characters and events in theaters, yes. Smaller characters on streaming, yes. That still interconnect could be good. Yeah.
It could. Or it could be kind of like what Marvel initially tried with Disney Plus, where then they did too much.
Yeah. Brovina Films confirmed Marvel is re-releasing Endgame on September 26th. That's cool.
Look at them trying to go and outplay Avatar for the #1 movie of all
is that
time.
what it is?
That would be my guess. It's
How
partially.
How much are they out by?
Not by a lot, because they already did a re-release previously, but let's take a look, because I
I'll
wouldn't
look
be
right now.
surprised. As a regular is
Avengers Endgame is at 2,799,439. So which Avatar is it? Avatar 1 or 2?
Avatar 1.
Okay, so Avatar 1 is at 2.9. 2.9. That's you still got quite a while.
Wait, you said what was Endgame?
2.7.
2.7 to 2.9. That's not
2
that
billion.
much.
I mean,
2.9 billion versus 2.7 billion. That's not that. If they're doing a re-release and they're hyping it up right before you do Doomsday, I could see a world where that happens.
it's $723 million and 923 million. You got to make another $200 million. I don't know if you're gonna do that.
Oh,
200 million. You think he's gonna make another $200 million?
Only because when Avatar was down by like 300 originally to Endgame, and then they re-released it before Way of Water, and they overtook them by that much.
Right, but I think I don't know. We'll have to see. HR White, bad day if you love the theatrical experience. Not yet. Don't say that yet. You don't know. Netflix going to do a slow contraction until theatrical experience dies from lack of product, and people only option is Netflix grows. I understand that fear, Chris, but I don't know if you can say that yet.
I do think we have to wait and see a little bit. And again, I don't want to be completely reactionary to this. I want to hold out for a little bit of hope and go, hey, do right by the consumer. And a lot of us want to see things in movie theaters. And again, it also is, hey, Ted, go make some more money with the toys you just brought.
Right. Yeah. Mad Sinister Macau, any Kickstarter updates? How long did it take you to write the pilot? How many episodes have you wrote? And what's your writing routine regarding time? Great questions all the way through. Part one, Kickstarter updates. Yes. So I had a great conversation with both my writing partner, my producer, my director, and a new person that we're bringing on that's going to be helping with, as without giving away too much, the idea of what we're going to be doing. And when you understand who the producer and director are and understanding what the campaign is going to be, it'll make a lot of sense as to how we're going to roll this thing out. It's the plan right now. It's going to be originally it was going to be a December release, but the thing is, with holiday season and getting everything right and making sure to put it out there. But the goal is that we're just planning. The next thing that we're planning out is when my announcement of who the director and producer are, and what we'll be offering with a release date of when it's coming out. That's the next thing that's going to be coming up. As far as how long it took to write the pilot, tricky question, because I wrote the initial. It went through so many different things. The initial pilot, it was a long time ago, and there was a couple different versions of it. There was a version that Cody Hall had done something with, and it wasn't the right take, so I did something else. And I brought Sasha Pearl Raver on. She's a really good writer. She did some great stuff to it, and then it didn't work out. Because we were going to shoot it back then, so I just scrapped the whole thing, and it sat for about 9 years, and then I just gutted it. And then when I brought on, I wrote a version of myself that probably took me when I was at Collider. I wrote a version for myself, and I sent that version to my friend Martini. And she liked it a lot. And then we had meetings, and we decided to just blow up the whole thing and to stick with the premise. So it took us about 9 months to a bunch of meetings that we took through back and forth on Skype and everything, and coming up with, because we redid the character's history, changed her character tremendously, and did all these things and just gutted it. And from like 7 to 8 months, then changed that. And that's how long it took. So episodes, we only wrote the screenplay for one episode, but we have 5 seasons mapped out. Connor Mullis, how many ants would it take to eat a McChicken? Probably a few, I bet. I haven't had a McChicken, and I can't tell you how long.
Definitely a few.
Yeah, right?
I'm like, is Connor like constantly just like microdosing shrooms?
He's like Robert Smigel. Remember Robert Smigel?
I do.
Yeah. Eric Slavey. What was there outcry like this when Disney bought Fox? There was.
Yeah.
There was. By allowing that deal, my precedent was set, which means this will get approved. I agree with that as well.
Yeah. There was outcry, but it wasn't as big because it was the beginning of this weird domino effect.
Yeah.
And now that it keeps shrinking more and more, people are screaming more and more. So
Yes.
Yeah. Are either one of you guys watching Stranger Things?
yeah.
Yes.
Mad Sinister McCall says Stranger Things predictions. Who you think will die? Initially I thought it was 11, but I think it's going to be Hopper. I think they're finally going to do it. And I think
But
it's
the whole
terrible.
town's going to be like, isn't he already? Didn't he?
I know. I hope that
he wants to.
I think they're just setting things up in the way that they're setting up the relationship.
I think it'll be Will. I think Will's gonna go. I think Will's gonna fully tap into his powers, and then I think he's gonna sacrifice himself.
Eric
My
Slavey.
concern is
You
for
think so? Oh,
Joyce
sorry,
then.
Chris. What do you think?
That's okay. I just worry about Joyce then, of like the whole premise initially was get my boy back.
That's why
And
I
then
don't
she does,
think
and then he
he's
dies.
Yeah,
But
I think it's going to be Steve, which I'm very upset about.
Steve, they've teased Steve too many times.
Yeah, they say them too many times. But
Dustin.
the only reason, real quick, I think that Joyce will. She's not going to be happy about it, but that conversation Will just had with her about like, Mom, you have to I'm grown, like whatever.
Yeah, I don't want to give too many spoilers. So I don't want to give
Yeah.
too many spoilers. So let's see. Next one after that. And let's say, Eric Slavey. I agree with you, Chris, on this deal business wise. Yeah, just as business makes sense. Okay. So currently at 101. Big day. Big day. Can they do it? It's at 101. They got a shot here. They got a shot. Obviously, Man of Tomorrow is Buster Beyond. Obviously, Man of Tomorrow and Batman 2 will be big deciders in DC's studios' future, but at this moment, I'm feeling good as a DC fan. Guess we'll see. Yeah, I just don't know what the plan is yet to feel good about it or not feel good about it. You know, Eric Slaby, have you guys watched Slow Horses on Apple? No, but all I've heard is how great it is.
And that Gary Oldman farts a lot.
Oh, does he fart a lot in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great. Did you? Oh, you watch it, Winston?
No, but there was a bit. I think it's tied to Slow Horses where he was on.
He
He was
Colbert.
Yeah, and so they were like, "Well, we
Now it
realized
makes
that maybe
sense.
we
I've
need
seen
to add
that.
farting to all your stuff." And then he just started
Oh, now I
laughing.
understand. Now that makes sense. Okay, I just discovered it this week, and I got a subscription to watch it. Might be the best TV show on. It's great. I have to watch the show. I love Gary Oldman. He's one of my favorite actors of all time,
Yeah.
and I hear great things. Yeah. Gerard, Winston, sorry for the Cowboy trolling. I'm a Chiefs fan. The Chiefs will be joining the Cowboys in Cancun after this Sunday. I do not see, which is crazy to say, by the way. I do not see them beating Houston. That defense is scary good.
I think the Chiefs are just exactly what happened with the Patriots with Brady. Mahomes will still be great and Reed will still be great, but we're just at the end of that run of a dynasty. If the Chiefs are meant to resurge, it's going to take a couple years to essentially rebuild old players that are about to leave. Like Kelsey's about to go become a billionaire via marriage. Like he's probably about done with football. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So
C Black, Marvel re-releasing Endgame. Yep. I'm curious. We'll see. That's going to be a story. That's going to be a story. Casual Scroll. Chris, do you have any advice for young voice acting talent looking for work with AI taking away opportunities in the industry?
Ooh, okay. If you have absolutely no money to do anything for acting classes, you can go to iwanttobeavoiceactor.com. It is curated by D. Bradley Baker. It is amazing free advice for you. You can go get books. The Business of Video Game Voice Acting is
Nice.
a great one. Watch TV, watch video games, actually listen to the characters, learn about plussing when people breathe life into things and take things out of the uncanny valley and make them seem human. And that's the thing that keeps fighting AI. I also would love you to go see, if you can, the horrific clips that they put out of Banana Fish with the AI dub versus hopeful voice actors dubbing over it. And it is so much better because AI can't do shit.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. I love that. Alex, who says, when I hear Netflix being $30 a month and being the only game in town and having commercials, I can't help but thinking they were lying about disrupting cable. That's what Chris said. Yeah.
it's all a lie.
Yeah.
It's all a lie to convince you to come. Again, Uber and Lyft, if you ever need to figure out how people are playing these games, they specifically saw a gap. They went and they used that gap to get in. They undercut the price. And the minute that they had the taxis over a barrel, they jacked that shit up.
Right. Yep. Let's see. Z-Rod. Would you ever show Sam Stranger Things? I mean, I'm watching it with Sadie right now, so to go back again, Sam's gonna be so busy. I mean, we just finished. We watched all three of the Netflix of the Knives Out. So we did one. We're gonna release two, and then we will release three when it is available on streaming. But we just did all three of those, and now I might show her Seven next. She's never seen Seven.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, yeah, show her
It might be
Seven.
a tough one.
Great movie.
Trash Panda, did Netflix also acquire Warner Music Group? It's another great question that wasn't answered. And more important, do they get this Flirt and Floss discography? Yeah. Well, he lost that a long time ago. You know, I still is one of my favorite storylines we never got to do. Because that, you know, do you remember the whole storyline? What was going to happen, Winston, with Spectacular? I think I've told you this before.
Maybe.
So Jen Sturger finally was starting to go heel. And so everyone did, for years had talked about the Jessica character and everything too. And then I talked to Jen and I said, and this is before we knew we were ending Schmodown, and we're like, well, let's turn, you want to be heel commentator with Jessica, but it turns out like it's a Flirt and Flouse has been, corrupting you. And it turns out that we've shot so many scenes. The Flirt and Flouse and Jessica were a couple. And they went to things, and we shot this whole scene where she like has her legs up on him, and she's talking to her and like resting on him like a couch, and she's having this conversation. And it was like, and she was so good in her, so interviewing people as a villain and all that. And then the very end, she was going to take over his faction, and we were going to film the final scene of that season. Was going to be the Flirt and Flouse living on the streets. So his entire empire was taken away from him because he never signed a prenup.
Damn.
Yeah, we were gonna. And
I didn't know that part.
Yeah, we were gonna. It was the best, but then we just never got to it. She was so excited to do it too. She was really leaning into it. It was a bummer. Gopal, who says, that reminds me, I got on Dropout recently and caught Winston on one of the shows.
Yeah,
miss you.
I've been on a number of actuallys, and then there was one other thing I did, I think, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, I've done like 4 or 5 actuallys or something. I haven't in a long time. I would love to go again. So if anybody from Dropouts watching, I'm happy to come back. So
Man, I want to be on there so bad.
Yeah. Mad Sinister McCall. Accountants can't handle Harloff and McCall jokes. Is that I guess was the guy yesterday an accountant,
he
Chris?
kind of looked like it in that that pea coat.
I was so bummed about that. I was like, oh, he gets it. And he's like, no, he didn't get it. I was like, he's like, why are you watching my show if you don't understand my humor? Come on. Alex, one angle you didn't cover. This is bad news for lovers of physical media. Wait, we talked about it earlier with Matt. If there are any HBO shows you want to collect, you need to buy them yesterday. Well, no, you still got about a year and a half, 2 years.
You got time. You got at least 2 years.
You got a little bit of time for sure. Dancing Dog 60. Major change happens in different decades. Yes. Yeah, it does. It happens. Yeah.
Not always good, though.
No, not always good. He's just a major change. The G-Man. Hey, y'all. My take. Paramount wants CNN to fire reporters and merge it with CBS News. Now they must wait until after the split to buy it in 2027. Yeah.
That's a big part of it, yeah.
That is a big part. That's a good call. Dancing Dog 60. Crazy, but excited about the change. New horizons. Yeah, I like the idea of change. I like it. I want to see what it means. Is there any way they can sell off Lucasfilms and someone do that too? Or that's no, I guess not. That's part of
Lucasfilms Disney.
I know.
I was like, what?
Just hoping Netflix could buy that too. No? All right. The G-Man. Wilson, I'm a fellow Cowboy fan. Last night, ouch. Yeah.
That was rough.
Well, 2-11. What are you going to do for the Giants? Trey Porter. Wait, does this mean that Netflix owns Sinners for 25 years? Remake, prequel, smoke and stack, prequel, stack, and marry on the way. Yeah, I mean, they're going to own all of that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, you can get a Sinners sequel on Netflix.
I always said I wanted the Native American like vampire hunters. I want that story.
Oh, yeah.
They were so fascinating.
I wanted to see more of them. That's true.
Yeah, give me a whole
they were
movie
great.
about them.
Yeah, they were great. Prady, BK, Warner Brothers doesn't own any parks outright. All are licensed others. Yeah, right. Harry Potter lands at Universal. Those licensing deals in the global experience goes to Netflix along with the studios. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. And
Thank you for explaining that.
Yep. 103, guys. 103 right now as we move on down the line. Wade's Way. The result of this merger are going to be interesting, to say the least. I don't think anybody disagrees with that. Eric Slaby. I can't imagine that Netflix will get rid of theaters for Warner Brothers films because they'd essentially be turning down easy money, just operated separate. That's what you'd hope. I mean, look, it's not easy money, especially the theater business and the way that the theater business is now. But it is certainly an opportunity to make a lot of money if you have the right team running it. And if you do it, like, that's probably why Abdi and DeLuca will stay on running that division. So, yes, run it separately. Brady, Andrew Ross Sorkin on CNBC reported this morning that Soranos went to the White House and met Trump recently and felt confident that this acquisition, if made, would go through. I didn't know that.
Oh.
I actually feel like I remember hearing something like that, but I don't know.
You would assume that would make sense. Like, let's say, look, hey, we know that if we get this, if we don't meet with this guy, it's going to be tough.
Right.
I'm going to go break bread with the guy because we speak each other's language when it comes to business.
Yeah.
Again,
The kiss the ring thing.
I don't like all this
Right.
kissing the ring, but that's exactly what Tim Cook did to get some of the terrorists pulled off of like phones. Like they were like, we don't have the infrastructure yet. We made you this trophy. Can you?
Right.
And so,
LJ Films 1. Hi, y'all. Chris, this is the Luke from the UK. I'll be taking a Speak Friend class in 2026. What is y'all's opinion on the Claudia Black Disney situation? I don't like it. Love the show. What is that situation?
What is
I don't know what
that?
that
Because
is.
I
Claudia-
love Claudia
Cla-
Black.
Claudia Black is the whole person who gave me my she gave me my planet. She made Harloff Minor a planet in what is going on with Claudia Black and Disney?
Yeah.
Are they don't make me hate Disney more.
she's not coming back to season 2 of Ahsoka due to pay.
Claudia Black? That's not who I'm thinking of. Hold on a second.
It
Am I-
said, according to Hollywood
Hold on a
Reporter,
second. Wait a minute.
Ahsoka actress.
I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Never mind.
Okay.
I'm thinking of I don't even know the name of the woman who did this. Real nice.
But just real quick, the headline just says Ahsoka actress Claudia Black details why she exited season 2.
Claudia Gray. Idiot.
Overpay. Something needs to change.
Yeah, I saw this story actually. So I do know this. She's one of the Night Witches. I'm not an advocate of a lot of things that Lucasfilm does, but for this one, we have our budget, and this is what we can offer you. We understand if you can't do it, we're going to stick someone else in the Night Witch makeup. I don't think anybody's going to care. I hate to say that like that way, but I don't. I mean, I got her and Claudia Gray mixed up just now.
It's fair. I mean, but that speaks to why this merger is actually terrifying and kind of bad. It's going to make it worse. Like, I feel like you're going to start to see more of this happening because once you own all the toys, you can dictate who gets to actually play with them.
Yeah. All right. SFL12. Will Netflix get rid of Cinemax? You're all absolutely amazing and wonderful. Thank you for everything. Isn't Cinemax gone already?
It still exists.
Oh, it
barely.
Yeah. I didn't even know. Probably. I didn't even know it was alive still. What's up, Brandon? We're about to have a Batman Harry Potter crossover where Bruce drop kicks Voldemort before we get GTA 6. Where we live in. I can see that happening,
especially with GTA 6 getting delayed again.
Yeah. LJ Films one. So you just gave somebody a membership. Who'd you give a membership to? Thank you for that. That's very nice. Trash Panda. Netflix getting HBO stand-up as a comedy monopoly. That's a great point. A great point. A great point. All of the library of everything that HBO has, now Netflix has that. That is a Trash Panda is the MVP today.
Yeah.
Think about that.
1,000%. Great point.
Did not even think about that.
Nope. 104 right now, guys. 104 as we are now still moving down. We're almost on here. 25 hours a day, 8 days a week. Win, Sutton, Marshall, Invincible fan, Loop fan, base. There you go. That's your fan. You got a fan. Zeus Fleming. Don't feel bad, Winston. You could be a Vikings fan like me.
Well, we play next Sunday, so we can, both stress out there.
2-11, guys. 2-11. Alex, I'll go on the record now. If this does in fact turn out to be a good thing, I'll be the first to admit it. I just feel like Ian Malcolm, we were going, God, I hate being right all the time. Fair enough. Mm-hmm. And look, Brandon, I'm a Browns fan. You suffering means nothing. 2-11.
The Browns are also, I believe, 2-11.
Yeah,
so
they are. Brandon Penson. Right now, I'm still lost and confused. I want to be optimistic. Is it possible to know what this deal means for Warner Brothers long term? Nice sweater, Chris. I don't know if it's possible to know right now. Yeah, what is that?
Oh, it's a Spider-Man sweater.
Yeah, because we were going to talk about some Spider-Man stuff, but too many things happened.
We didn't have.
I will have a different sweater for every show I do this month, you guys.
You should.
I have too many.
Yeah, and Luke, do me a favor, like to save in our show notes, just make sure that none of that stuff that we didn't talk about is in the show notes. Sometimes we leave that stuff in there, and I want to make sure that people aren't confused. Nom, your cookie. Do you think this could flip the other way and we could see high budget series like Stranger Things with a short theater release? Well, they're already putting the finale in the theaters.
Yeah.
So maybe more underneath the Warner Brothers banner. It's possible. Let's see. So OG Bobby Johnson. Possibility of Snyder and Gunn heading DC together. That is very unlikely.
You need a Peter Seraphim type. You need a business guy in there.
Yeah, that's very unlikely. I mean, I don't see the point of that. I don't think Snyder would want to be doing that. I mean, to finish his thing and to do his thing if they gave him an opportunity, sure, but I don't think he'd want to run DC. Eric Slavey, can't wait to see the Harry Potter and Squid Game crossover. There's always Harry Potter and JC, support the dynamic duo. There you go.
Yay.
With 106 so far, still a battle, but Gen X Kid. Hello, fam. Hello, Gen X Kid. Been a minute, Winston and Miss Chris Carr. Hope everyone's feast giving was fire, fabulous, and fork licking good. It was pretty yummy. You guys have yummy Thanksgivings?
Yeah, it was good, man. It was low key, but it was nice.
Good.
Yeah.
Trusting y'all good. And rolled away from the table satisfied. Yes, I did, for sure. I had and good pie. Good pie.
I've mastered candied yams now. I crush that shit.
Yeah. 25 hours. Important question. Is a $10 donation enough for producer credit? If so, would 25 be enough for executive producer credit? My people will be in touch. I'll tell you probably not, to be honest with you. Because like I said, what we're doing here, we're not like, and I say this lovingly with Grasping at Straws, which is one of my passion projects that I did. I ain't making Grasping at Straws. We're making a show that would already look like it's on Netflix or HBO Max. And in order to do that, and I kept saying, like, if you're going to go, if you hit here, you'll make a TV show. But if you hit here, you'll be able to do exactly what you want. But we want to make sure, like, and I always use the example, the Bear, the pilot costs 1.1 million is how much that pilot costs, right? So that's not what we're making this for, but it ain't, $25,000.
Yeah.
Like we're making a real television pilot. So we're going to offer some stuff that is, you'll see the kind of things that we're offered. It's going to be very different than other campaigns. 25 hours. Oh, you did that one. Thank you. So we don't know yet. I don't know yet what, but I don't think at that level, that's what that would be. HR 0803, James Cameron and Netflix buying Warner Brothers would be a disaster on the Town podcast to James Cameron. Unions are against it. Don't believe me. Believe them. Bad day. We'll see. Again, it's all about we'll see. Connor Mullis, no shrooms, just high on life. And occasionally Bush Light. Bush Light is the nectar of the gods. Sweet, sweet nectar. He's hilarious.
I want to hang out with Connor.
Yeah, me too. Matt Sinister McCall. Hopefully Vecna ends those rascals. Jamie's the best. Jamie is best. I want to try to reach out to him before the end of the season, see if I can get him back on. I really liked him. Nice guy. Okay, a very honest guy too. 109, and this is Gen X Kid. Campia hosted a banger of a VS battle, Apple TV versus HBO Max 2022 today, and it delivered. Both of them are serving premium vibes. Who wins? Versus battle. Okay, Apple TV versus HBO Max 2020 today, and was delivered. Both of them. Apple TV.
I kind of want to say Apple, which sounds weird.
I'd have to look at the right.
I'd have to look at them all, but because obviously you think HBO Max, what Penguin, Welcome to Derry, those are the first two that pop into my head. But immediately Apple, I can go Ted Lasso, The Morning Show, Shrinking, Coda, which won an Oscar, Severance. For All Mankind, I just can't think of as many HBO off rip. I know they exist,
right?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
There's just more diversity on HBO Max though too, because then you also tap into all of the lifestyle channels as well. I'm watching the shit out of Food Network's TOC Holiday Edition.
Oh, and then all the 90 Day Fiancés,
right.
and the Sister Wives. Seeking Sister Wives is crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Eric Slaby, did you guys see that A New Hope was announced as being released February 2027? According to Star Wars Web, it'll be a newly restored version of the 77 OG film. I will go and see that in the theater.
I would go see that.
The non-special one. Yeah, I'd love to see the original. But that would be great. That's amazing. I did not hear that. Legend. MM600. You all rock. Happy Friday. Favorite Marvel hero? I'm an Iron Man guy. Yeah. We're talking movies. If we're talking movies, if we're talking overall Hulk
movies, then Iron Man.
Yeah. Hulk, Punisher. Yeah. Oh, Wolverine. Wolverine's Marvel.
Gambit.
Yeah. DX Batman. Hello there. Hello there.
Hello there.
Mad Sinister McCall. Chris, you getting the Terrifier Christmas sweater? No.
Absolutely not. In what world? In what world? I'd be so scared to even look at it.
Yeah, no way. Butt funnel, says Talia. Thank you, Butt funnel. Cat Mom. Team Texas in the house. Cowboys suck, but Spurs going strong. Love my Texas duo with Big Apple in the middle. Love all. So very nice. I love every time you're here. Thank you. Deandra Mosley. With Netflix buying maybe WB Animation, library will finally be consolidated on one platform. They should. I hope that happens at least. If they consolidated, that it actually has a little more structure. Netflix is a mess. The structure of it,
Yeah.
So I'd like to see that happen. Okay, guys, it was a good one. It was a good run. Chris Carr wins the week by herself, but you guys still had a hell of a run at 109. Pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Pretty damn good. All right, before we get out of here, speaking of Chris Carr, Chris, where can the good people find you and what
Oh, go head on over to Two Filthy Casuals, wherever you get your podcast, or on YouTube. We have an incredible episode out today. Honestly, it might be some recency bias, but it is my favorite thing we've ever done. It's with comedian Mimi Von Schnack, who she is incredibly funny and also incredibly insightful. It's all about the 2010 film Burlesque, but we talk about so much more. And then if you liked any of the stuff I said about voice acting, how much I dislike AI, or want any acting training, come on over to speakfriendstudio.com. That's where me and my husband Logan teach voiceover lessons and dialect coaching. We do actors demos, and I think we're just real fun and nice. So go hang out with us.
Winston A.
You can find me at the Swaggy Blur on all platforms. Here on YouTube, I actually just started my memberships on my channel, so come and check that out. The first members only video is the full uncut version of Blurred's Gonna Feud. We did the Black Family Feud over there, so you can check all of that out. That was a lot of fun, but there'll be all sorts of stuff. You'll get access to early vids over there. I'm going to be doing a members only stream once a month as well. I do the Blur breakdown on Mondays in the evening. Then I'm over with Roka doing Spill the Tequila on Tuesdays. I have Blurred's in the Hood on Wednesdays. And then I'm here every Friday, and we're back with Demon Slayer this weekend. We did some episodes for you, so check that out as well.
Yeah, we're gonna have episodes 4 and 5 on Saturday. We didn't get a chance to do any more than that, but we'll have those too. But one more from Brandon before we get out of here, and he says, "Not trying to be blatantly political, but as long as Netflix went to the White House before inking the deal, then it'll go through." I think you're probably right.
Yep.
Squeaky wheel gets the oil, and so does greased palms. I think you're right.
Yep.
Guys, what do you make of all of it? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. Make sure you are checking us out, commenting, clicking like. Got a lot of stuff going on. I've got I have the Total Recall 1990 Total Recall with myself and Steph. That's going to go up a little later on today. As Winston mentioned, we're going to do the Demon Slayer. I'm probably going to have Welcome to Derry go up this Sunday. Got a lot of stuff coming out next week. And that's it. So I appreciate you being here. I will have more information very, very soon. Hopefully get the director and producer on this show before the end of the year. That would be nice. And that's it. Thank you to Chris Carr. Thank you to Winston A. Marshall. And congratulations to Chris Carr for winning the week this week. So thanks, everybody. See you on the flip side. Bye.